All right, everybody, welcome back. Episode 57, Pack Talk Podcast. We got the crew here today. We're doing a little bit of question roulette. Is that how you say it, Kevin? Roulette? Question roulette. This is not Russian roulette. It's question roulette. So instead of a revolver,
we don't die. We just get
it's just
answer.
questions.
There's a good chance you won't die in Russian
by
roulette
questions.
either.
I don't know. Not when I play.
All right, so what's going to happen is everybody's got a list of questions. We gave Chris a read ahead because, he doesn't like surprises. So we gave him a read ahead. List of questions, and we're going to ask each other questions and see what happens. Okay? So we're starting off. We'll go with Lexi. Go ahead, start off with a question. You can pick anybody you want to ask your question. I don't think you gave Chris a heads up on your questions.
No,
I did not. I did not give anyone a heads up on my questions. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Fire from the hip.
But my first question, I know you said ask one person. I'm going to ask everybody. But Kevin can start. What is the most memorable dog you've ever trained?
Oh, God.
First one that pops in your head.
Good memory or bad memory?
Either one.
We'll stick with good memory just in case somebody's listening. Honestly, it's Sadie out there. That's like that was like one of the easiest and best dogs I've ever trained. I mean, she was off leash. That's back when we did the 3-week program, and she was money. She was just good to go. I think I was doing off leash stuff with her like 4 or 5 days in, doing walks around the neighborhood, no issue. So she was nice.
Good to go.
Yep.
Chad?
It's a hard one to answer.
It is.
Too many dogs. Some names that popped in my head: Hero, Mr. Bean, Hank. Even though I didn't train him, Chris trained him. Hank, Livy. All of them. Good to go.
Yeah.
Flex. Even though I didn't train Flex.
Flex was memorable.
Yeah. Same here. There's so many of them. All of them are memorable. But I would say if I have to pick one that stands out, I would say Charlie, the German Shepherd, because he was kind of like pivotal for me in my development as a trainer. Where I'm like looking at a dog, I'm new at this. I'm like, I don't know if we can train this dog. You know what I mean? Like, this dog is crazy. This dog's got a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. And so, just after 4 weeks, good to go. He's rehabilitated. And so for me, that was very memorable because I'm like, hey, we can do anything.
Chris was blown away.
Did you say that, Chris? Question?
What?
Chad? Did you ask him if we could
Yeah.
train that
Oh, yeah,
dog?
no, straight up.
As soon
That's
as we
the
left
one
their
question
house.
you don't ask Chad.
Yeah.
Can we train this dog?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I said it like
learned
that.
He learned it when he asked.
I think I said something like, because Chad's like, yeah, we're good to go, and like we got in the car, I'm like, that was like, we're not good to go, right? And he's like, yeah, no, we're good to go. So, yeah.
Ben, what's the most memorable dog for you to observe being trained?
Any Frenchie, first of all.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, memorable. Went to his house to pick him up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with you.
You went with me?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm thinking about that hound. The big black hound that one of y'all trained.
Clyde.
Oh, yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah,
Good guy.
Big floppy ears.
I thought he was gonna say his dog Ara.
That's memorable.
Yeah,
What about Freddie?
I still
Freddie the
remember.
wiener.
Freddie.
Oh,
Good wiener.
Freddie the wiener.
He's a good wiener. He's very memorable. You can't forget Freddie.
Or that one wiener. Your first wiener, Chris. The first wiener you ever.
BB
BB
That
the winner.
was a good one.
He was a good
And
wiener.
we did the video in the hospital.
Yeah,
We literally walked through there.
Nobody
That was
said
crazy. That was crazy. I asked you guys,
Wiener
can we do this? I
dog
don't
with
know.
a service
We'll just do
dog tag
they
on
say.
it, on its vest, rocking and rolling.
Good
Nobody
video.
said nothing.
Good video though.
We were a lot more. We gambled a lot more back then, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Before my time.
Yeah.
The videos have evolved over time.
Yeah.
Lexi, turn the question back on you.
I mean, I would, like you guys said, there is a lot that are memorable, but I mean, I would probably say the most memorable was Cash, the big
Oh, yeah.
big
That's a
mastiff,
big boy.
biggest dog. I mean, you said second biggest dog that we've trained here, probably is what
Zeus
you
big?
said.
Yeah.
Zeus was big.
Yeah, Zeus I
Definitely.
think was bigger than that.
Oh, big Zeus, big
But I just remember like walking through downtown Charleston and like everyone just turning heads and like, what is this girl doing with that gigantic dog?
Yeah.
What was the other dog?
And there was two of them. Yeah.
Remy.
Remy.
Yeah. So I would have both of them. So I guess like that pair was the most memorable to me just because it was so big.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a dog that I had to win over that hated that, like, I'm not going to say hate, but dog that wanted to bite me all the time. Then I had to win it over to like seeing me as a friend. I don't even know I can't remember any dogs that were like that I've trained.
I got
just
one.
know there's been a bunch of them.
Hobbs.
Yeah.
Hobbs. Chad had to help me get him out of the truck, and I brought him back.
Yeah.
about that husky that you trained, Chad? You trained that one husky.
Oh yeah, Hunter. I think.
Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
that was
Super.
intense.
Yep.
That was intense.
He was an intense guy. Looking at your hand.
Very intense.
Little memories.
All right, Chris, throw a question.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just do it for everybody.
Here we go.
If you could choose one food to have 0 calories, that's no carbs, no fats, it's
That
literally.
means it tastes like shit.
I
No,
need
no.
carbs.
It is the food. It's the food. All right. I'll just go ahead and tell you. For me, Oreos. Right. So I eat an Oreo. It does nothing. I can eat as many as I want. I don't gain any weight. What food is that for you?
That would be good. Remember back in the day when I used to eat
Oh, yeah.
a sleeve
Yeah.
of double stuffed
Back in
Oreos
the
a
day.
night,
Yeah.
every night.
Probably still happen.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had Oreos in forever. Those things have so many carbs in them.
Yeah, they're
Those things are
ridiculous.
crazy,
They're ridiculous. That's why that's my choice.
All right, who are you asking the question?
We'll start with you.
I would say either pizza or ice cream, or both.
You got to pick one. One food. Pizza or ice cream. That's tough.
Probably pizza.
Pizza's probably more sustained. Like you could.
Probably
You
pizza.
know, that's
I
good
can
to
eat a
go.
lot of pizza.
Yeah, we know.
Speaking
We've
of
seen it.
pizza, I did have a DiGiorno 2 nights ago.
Good
It
pizza.
destroyed my stomach. I was like, damn, that was a bad idea.
Bruschetta pizza, good.
But it was good.
Bruschetta pizza don't mess me up.
Really?
Bruschetta. I
mean,
can't do DiGiorno. It gives me heartburn, actually.
What the hell?
It gives me acid reflux.
Yeah,
Really?
that's a sauce.
It's
I
the
just kinda
sauce,
power
but
through those
Bruschetta
things.
is a heatable pizza.
Bruschetta oven pizza. Put in the oven.
Frozen pizza?
Good to
Try it.
go.
Is that your choice, Ben? Of food?
No, well, for frozen pizza.
No, well, what's
That is
your
my
choice?
preference.
What's your choice for your 0 calorie food?
Well, this is gonna sound a little.
Queso.
What's the word I'm looking to say? Like, basically, I'm saying I don't have an issue right now with carbs or anything.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
Ben
have to
needs as
worry.
many. If
So you are living this right now. You can eat.
I can just eat whatever.
Yeah, if you give Ben a 0 calorie food, it doesn't do him any good.
Yeah.
It just takes up
I
the
literally
stomach
just
space,
have
so he needs
such a
something with
fast
more.
metabolism that like putting on weight is a huge issue, regardless of what I eat.
Well,
It's
But
not
I do
an
love-
It's not an issue. You just have to eat enough.
I do
Right.
love pasta.
Oh,
Okay.
good choice.
I do love mashed potatoes. I do love French fries, especially Chick-fil-A French fries.
Mashed potatoes with butter in them.
I mean, it don't matter. I'll take them either
Put some
way.
ghee in it. Good to go.
It doesn't matter dessert-wise. I'm not a big snack guy. Not a big sugar dessert snack guy.
But you'll go ham on some pasta.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll go ham on anything. Tacos. Mexican's my number one food. So
Nice.
probably Mexican food.
That's a good.
I will
choice.
say a
Chips
couple
and-
weeks ago,
Chips and salsa.
after our trainer workout, I forgot which one it was, but it was super intense. I wanted some cookies. So I made some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. This shit was good. All right, anyway. who's next?
Kevin,
I'd probably have to go with pasta.
pasta, good
Yeah.
choice.
I haven't had pasta. I don't really eat pasta because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and you
Lot of
just
carbs.
like you can't just eat like one little portion of it. You gotta,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
have a whole
You gotta go
plate.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that ranges everything from like fettuccine alfredo to like lobster mac and cheese.
Yeah, you take some pasta and
Or Easy
eliminate
Mac.
all the calories. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's a good
I
day.
eat it every meal.
yeah.
I'd just starve to death if it has no calories. I guess.
Lexi,
I mean, my first thought is potatoes, just because that's my favorite food. But it's like potatoes aren't really like that, like necessarily bad for you. So I feel like if it's 0 calorie or just what it is, it doesn't matter. So like instead of wasting it on something like
it's a
potatoes,
good strategy.
I think I would say cookie dough, because I like just eat cookie dough for like breakfast,
Nice.
lunch, and everything.
Raw cookie dough,
Yeah,
just straight
so
up cookie
just
dough.
cookie
I got some
dough.
sweet
Yeah.
tooths around here.
When I made my oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, I had a good portion
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
cookie dough.
I did recently make cookie dough brownies.
Nice.
They were good.
Dang, is
big
it
deal.
lunchtime?
You know what I want to do? I want to make my oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, but brownie version. You know, where you just put them on a square thing. And you cut
Yeah.
'em.
I noticed that as
do
we're
that.
all talking about food. Everyone's going,
I'm hungry. I'm hungry now.
yeah.
Dang.
You're the one that came up with this question.
Dang, whose question was this?
All right, Kevin, you got a question for us?
Yeah.
Or for somebody?
Well, this is gonna be for the table too.
Wow.
There we go.
Might as well just
Every
keep
question.
This one's a pretty good one, I feel like. So, Chad, what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't a dog trainer?
That's one of my questions.
Dang,
Probably still in the Navy.
maybe. That's a hard question.
It is.
Probably start a French drain business.
I haven't heard Chad talk
I mean,
about
that still
French
might
drain.
happen though.
Listen,
I will say
within a
that-
year and a half, I'm gonna get them done.
I'd almost think Chad
Torn
want to be
bicep
like
in
a
the middle.
farmer or something with all the
Yeah.
guineas and the chicken.
I mean, I could be a guinea breeder.
You'd probably be hanging
Yeah?
out at HB.
I could hang out with some cattle farmers. good to go. That's I'd probably start up a French drain business. Probably, maybe.
Well, I feel like you wouldn't have gotten into French drains without being a trainer.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably
not. He's right.
Probably wouldn't have gotten into guineas either.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's all
it's
part
all
of the
connected.
journey. Yeah.
It's all connected. You know.
Yeah.
I will say before I was a trainer, I was looking at being a harbor pilot or a DNR game warden. So those were the two I was looking at before that. So anyway,
Nice.
that's my answer.
Chris?
I'm next.
Kevin's in charge. Is this
Chris?
question going around?
Okay. I would definitely. I would still be a cop for sure. I was a cop when I left here. I was like, I'm staying here forever. I'm gonna be a cop forever.
Trying to get that pension. Huh?
You gotta
So,
go with what you know, man.
I'd probably
Yeah.
still. Yeah, I'd probably
Trying
still
to
be
get
doing
that
that.
grayer hair.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Or like me, no hair.
nor,
Chris,
I probably would be bald.
When Chris was a detective, I saw a video he did. How to prevent people from breaking into your car. He had
I
a
saw
slick
that
back, and he had the pistol holder,
saw that.
Shoulder
the double
holsters.
pit, the double pit.
And he had a big belly.
I had a belly.
He's a big
big
donut
cheeks.
guy.
I mean, you know,
guy.
the desk life is brutal, boys. You know, so
Not good for you.
not good for you at all. But yeah.
Lexi, making what was it? Donuts or whatever?
Well, I was gonna say,
shot.
that I would like own a bakery probably. Like I would start a baking business, own a bakery, or like just do like cake decorating. But then it's like if we're talking about like if I could do anything and not worry about like I don't know money or consequences or things like that, I'd probably be a race car driver.
Holy
Wow.
wow.
So it's like
Better
the
get your contacts in.
Motocross.
yeah, I know. yeah,
Motocross, Lexi?
yeah,
Don't drive
Yeah.
a Subaru or
Yeah.
a Ford.
yeah. No.
and Ford's good. to
Subaru,
go.
I think, is meant for.
Yeah, for race car driving. So Subaru is
Subaru?
probably
Off-roading,
fine. I mean,
not
it can be.
NASCAR.
Subaru keeps breaking down.
Yeah, that's just
The ones
my
that I know.
Subaru. If I get a different one, it's fine.
Ford's good.
Bonnie?
For being realistic, I'd probably just be doing a manual labor job. But if
French
it was-
drains?
I mean, probably.
You gonna join the French train
As long,
business?
as long as the pay is good, you know, and I don't work insane hours. But I mean, if it
That's
was like,
That's manual labor.
in
You
an
just
ideal
described manual
world,
labor.
I'd probably be working behind the scenes, some production type thing. But then that'd probably be like those types of jobs are like contracts. So you get one, you have to find another one, you know. So it's like I'd probably just be bouncing around doing that in an ideal world.
Honestly, we could just shut this whole thing down and just start up a French train business, and we'll just all
I
just
don't.
work
We
it
could
out.
literally
not having to
train,
do manual
you know.
labor. I just want to say, I was doing manual labor before I came and worked for you. And
I mean, we
hated
could
it.
just throw it on the plate. Just, let's do it. We'll do
Add
both.
it to the schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, Canine Revolution is starting to become an umbrella company for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Canine Revolution, French trains.
Yeah. The French Train Revolution.
All right, Kevin. What about you? If you weren't a trainer,
I mean, it's just like Chris. I'd just go with what I know. I'd be in corrections probably. I'd have went to that federal medium security camp, did my 20 years, and just hung it up.
Yeah.
Called
Back
it a
to
day.
the rock.
Yep. Easy day in the Fed life, man.
there you go. All right. Next question, Ben. What do you got?
I got some questions. Kevin took one of them. All right, so here we go. Here we go.
I've only
I'll
got
give,
like
I'll
seven.
give a semi-serious one. I got a couple jokey ones later. So we'll start with Kevin. This is around the table. So, do you ever feel burnt out after being so focused on training or consumed with training / being in the dog training business, talking with people, making business deals, XYZ?
Yeah, I mean, even though like I thoroughly enjoy my job here, it's a different because like when I was in corrections and I get burnt out, it was a lot different. Like I didn't want to go, I don't want to do this, looking for reasons not to do stuff, whatever. But here I enjoy my job, so yeah, I mean the burnout is going to occur because we do stay relatively busy, but you have to balance it as well. So yeah, there are days where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait till Wednesday. It's my day off. I'm not on call. Because then I'm going to take my me time, balance it out, be good to go. But I don't get burnt out to the point to where, like, I'm dreading work. Yeah, I can be tired, but I'm still going to function tired. So
Yeah.
And on Kevin's me time, he's at the pool.
at the pool, I'm killing the pool lately and the gym.
There you go.
Gym
Well,
pool.
for Chad, for you, it's the same question, but I would say focus after being so focused on training, but you also have your feet in many different many different waters.
Many different puddles.
So you have your ideas.
They're big
flowing.
puddles.
You got
They're
your
more like
ideas
lakes.
flowing. You got your contacts flowing. You know, like you're making contacts with people, building relationships, training, helping your staff here. You know, you ever feel burnt out? What do you do to
Doing the French
to
drains.
balance that out? You know.
I will say the training itself doesn't burn me out. I could just do that all day. The thing that takes me to the edge of burnout sometimes is having to make hard decisions in a business scenario. Also worrying about all the employees, right? How they're doing, what's going on with them, making sure I'm making decisions that set them up properly or the business up properly. There's a lot of risk involved. You don't know what's actually going to happen. You try to analyze things and figure out the best path forward. What's the best decision for these people? This person is having something going on. What can I do to help them? This person has this life event going on. They need to go take care of that. We got to cover. So a lot of different moving pieces. So that is the thing that I don't want to say burnout, but high stress levels. You know what I'm saying?
Sense of overwhelming, maybe.
Can be overwhelming, you know, a lot of time, or I don't want to say a lot of times, but there are times where I get very overwhelmed.
So what you
and I know people that might be at that point, or business owners that might be at that point. They get to that level, it crushes them. So I try to stay away from getting crushed and, you know, try to stay motivated, try to keep moving. And the good thing about, or the way that I think is, I got to look for a solution. So I don't dwell on things too long. So I'm always trying to look for solutions, and sometimes it consumes me trying to find solutions to everything. But that's kind of how I work through it.
What's your detox then?
My detox?
What's your
Staying active. Staying active. If I sit down and get drawn down by these decisions I have to make, or things that are happening that are stressing me out, if I sit there and think about them too much, it brings me down. So I either got to stay active, look for solutions, but that can drag you down too. Sometimes you just got to move, take a walk, train, go back to your foundation, which is training. You know, I work out every morning, so 5 days a week, sometimes 6. Sometimes I wake up, Zerker carry, let's go. So got to stay active, you know, having little side projects on the side on your days off, like
Guineas.
breeding guineas, you know, working on French drains, that kind of stuff. So staying active helps me not dwell on things and think about things too critical. And then also having trusted people that you can trust to talk to about these things that are stressing you out. So trying to find a solution to the problem.
Go back to Kevin. What's your detox? I don't think we hit that. Pool time?
Yeah, I mean, pool time. You know, I'm a gamer, man. So it's nice to like take a couple hours, just like zone out. Like a lot of people look down on it, but then they sit on the couch and watch Netflix for like 6 hours a night. It's
Same
like I'm
concept.
doing the same thing,
Yeah.
you know. But that's like the way to just shut off for a second and just get away, and then come back and kind of hit it fresh. But I am back into the working out world, which is good for, I mean, just stress relief in general. You know, I fell off for a long time, but getting back into it.
But sometimes those thoughts can overwhelm you, even at the
yeah.
gym. Like there's
Yeah.
been times where there's something going on business-wise. I'm going to the gym in my normal routine, my normal schedule. And even there, I'm feeling overwhelmed by the thoughts of like this scenario that's happening. And
To where you can't like focus.
well, it's hard to focus.
Yeah.
You know, you're not getting a good workout, even though you're still trying to move. Or sometimes you're so absorbed in trying to solve the problem by looking things up that you're not actually working out. You know what I'm saying? So that does happen, and that can be an issue. But I'm trying to think of what I've done in those scenarios is just try to push it out of the brain, at least for the time being, you know. And other things I think about for me personally, there's people that are going through worse things in their life. So whatever we're going through is not really that bad. You know what I'm saying? Obviously scenarios like Kevin's been through, and you can listen to his podcast, you know, that's something that's crazy that most people aren't going to deal with. That's a really bad scenario. You know, if someone's in the military, they're a prisoner of war, or they've gotten shot, or their legs have gotten blown off, or things like that. You know, and you can go and listen to these people's stories on different podcasts. You can listen to our podcast with Teddy, you know, the one-leg savage. That dude's leg got,
It was rough.
you know, off, you know, cut off in the Army. He's seeing the bone on the ground. He's having to go through crazy rehab. So if he can go through that, and these are the kind of people I think about, Kevin, Teddy, all the other people I listen to, you know what I'm saying, that have been through crazy traumatic experiences, whether it be in their civilian life or service related life, whether that be law enforcement, corrections, military, whatever. If they can go through these crazy things, what I'm going through is not that bad. And there's going to be a way forward, and there's going to be a way out of it. There might be some things that are uncomfortable that has to happen. You know what I'm saying? You might have made some bad decisions, right? Some things may have happened as a result of those decisions. But it's not as bad as what these people went through. So my situation actually not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you made a bad business decision, you might lose some money. You know, it might be a lot of money, but it's better than having all 4 of your arms and legs cut off, which happens to some people. And those people, like Travis Mills, dude's getting after it. You know what I'm saying? So if these types of people that are going through crazy things can work through it, and obviously it's an ongoing struggle that you have to deal with these things your entire life if you're that kind of person. But if they can deal with that and press on, then we can press on with our little measly things that are going on. And I'm not trying to discount anybody's issues, because I think we all have our own demons. I think everybody has their own demons that they're dealing with. Everybody has their own stuff going on, their own stresses that are going on. And that means a lot to that specific person in that specific situation. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about these people that have been through hell, you know, and are still living, still pressing on, and then they're succeeding. You think about Teddy again, the one-legged savage. This dude's a freaking pro bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? With one leg. You know what I'm saying? If he can do that, then I can work through whatever I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what helps me push through that. So if I'm in the gym, I'm getting overwhelmed, I think about these kind of things. I'm like, you know what? This ain't nothing. Let me just get on with what I'm doing, work through it one baby step at a time until you get through the solution. You know what I'm saying? So that's what helps me.
That's difficult, because like in today's day and age, it's so easy to do the woe is me thing, the victim mentality. Oh, all my problems suck. Nobody knows.
Reinforcement on, social
Bingo.
media.
Yeah. And it's like, it's literally a perspective change. Like you can say, hey, I am blessed to have the problems that I have versus whatever else other people are dealing with.
But it's okay to like take a minute for yourself too.
For sure.
You know,
For
if
sure.
you're like dealing with something, like don't be so hard on yourself to compare it if you're in like a dark place, because it's gonna make it darker. Like pull yourself out, and then you can kind of compare. What I like is like me personally, like the mental stuff, like what I rediscovered this week when I'm working out, and I start thinking things, it just turns into fuel. Like it's just like, I don't want to say hate, but it's you know, it's burning, you know, inside of you.
It's an outlet for that energy. You know what I'm saying?
And it feels good.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm like, dang, I got a lot of anxiety about this one thing going on, or, you know, this could lead down the path of depression. I see how those things can kind of happen. I know people that have struggled with anxiety and depression to the point where it shuts them down, where they go into that turtle shell mentality, you know what I'm saying? And so I can see how that happens, you know, but I think everybody has to find their own way of dealing with those things. That's just how I deal with it myself.
Yeah.
So it might help other people. Maybe they have to find a different solution.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix, like Kevin said, eating potato chips, eating donuts, all that,
Right.
You're not helping your body work through it. Your body needs hydration. Your body needs good fuel. Your body needs to move to kind of, at least my perspective, to kind of work through some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
Chris?
Chris,
Lexi, you guys want to finish the question?
Both together?
We can move on to another
back,
question.
we went.
That was a good tangent.
Burnout. I mean, I don't know that I would even define it as burnout, that I get burnout. I feel like burnout is something where you're like no longer happy. You're like, I'm done doing this. I don't want to do this. So it's like, if you're feeling burnout, I think you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And that's just like my definition of burnout. I think, do we get tired? I get tired. I'm like, dang, man, I've been working hours and hours and hours, training, meeting with clients, doing emails, doing paperwork, all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I can get tired. But I think it's just about like what I do. I try to be as intentional with my time as possible. When I'm here at work and I'm working with a dog, my time is with that dog. You know, when I'm talking to clients on the phone, my time is with those clients, right? And when I at the end of the day, and I come home and, you know, I'm putting my son Jackson to bed. That's his time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I try to just, whatever is going on at work or whatever, I kind of just push that off to the side. I focus on the task at hand, which is spending some time with my son, putting him to bed, hanging out with the family, that kind of stuff. Then back to work. Boom, we're back to focusing on that. And I just keep chipping away at one thing at a time. If I'm ever feeling like there's just things compounding, I'm getting stressed, that kind of stuff, it's just make a list. Here's the priorities, execute. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just kind of how I operate. But I wouldn't say that I ever have experienced burnout.
Maybe not burnout, but overwork.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe just overwhelmed feeling, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're saying your detox is spending time with your family.
I love hanging out with my kid, honestly.
Big family guy.
And my wife, Kelly. You know, shout out to Kelly. But I love hanging out.
She's just the mother of the kids.
Yeah, she's just the mother. She's I like hanging out with, and sometimes I split that up too. You know, Kelly has her time. You know what I mean? Like my last off day, I took Jackson to the water park, just him and me. Good quality father-son time, hanging out on the lazy river, and
just
guys went to Waffle House too.
Didn't go to Waffle House this time.
Oh my goodness! You
Packed,
passed up on. You went to comeback.
I packed sandwiches like a responsible father.
Dad, yeah.
A responsible father would go to comeback shack.
Oh, okay. I did it wrong.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes, you know, hanging out, sitting on the lawn chairs, you know, going down water slides.
Cracking
good time.
a cold one.
Yeah.
LaCroix,
That's
of course. LaCroix.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I don't know about that. But yeah, that's definitely I guess a decompression for me is just hanging out with my kid, you know, and I love doing that. Firearms is another one. I love shooting.
Yeah.
You know, don't do it as often as I'd like to, but you know, once or twice a month. And
Ammo's
that
expensive.
ammo's expensive. Yeah. But you can dry fire. There's other things you can do.
You got to get you a
22.
Good to go.
Yeah, but that's good. I mean, I look at like firearms is something that I've always been like when I'm just focused shooting on target, focus on skills. Like I think naturally I can just dump a lot of stuff that's going on in my life outside, just because like I'm literally shifting my brain and focusing on something else, and I enjoy doing it. Right, so like to me that's like a therapy for myself. You know,
That's
just
the
shooting.
purpose of it.
Yeah, for sure. Trigger therapy, it's a thing.
Lexi?
I mean, I know you guys have kind of all already answered it, but I kind of feel like I don't really get stressed from anything work or training related, but I would say kind of in a weird way, like if I have stress from life or like anything going on that's not work related, my detox is to come to work and work the dogs. So it's like if I'm ever feeling stressed or overwhelmed or tired with something going on in my life, I come and I work the dogs, you know, like that. I feel like that's my type of, you know, detox there. But if it's not like my training dogs, then I just work my personal dogs. So, you know, I feel like the working dogs part is the detox for me.
Definitely, I agree with that too.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I'll just go out and work the dog, think about the dog and the mind and what needs to happen, or just take a walk with my own dogs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about just like a peaceful walk with a dog, whether it's your personal or your training dog, just taking a walk. I mean,
and sometimes that's where I come up with my solutions to whatever problem. You know, I'm just hanging out, walking my dogs. I'm on the trail, just letting them sniff stuff, watching them, and something just boom hits me or whatever. You know, oh boom, I got a solution. Now boom, stress is going down. By the end of the walk, I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Good to go.
All right.
Wait, Ben, did you answer the question? Did you answer your own question?
What's your own question? Own answer.
Don't feel burnt out, but you know, overwhelmed or like I feel a sense of overwhelming, like I got a lot to do, you know, but like Chris said, normally like execute like a tier list of like you know, check marks, like get this done, check, move on to the next one. If I ever feel like I can't focus on like work or something, I'll take my dogs for a walk, get their walk in. Gets my mind off of the screen, you know, because I'm behind my laptop screen a lot. Gives my eyes a rest, you know, get my dogs out. They're walking, get them exercised. By the time I come home, I'm like total brain reset, or like you said, figure out a solution while I'm on the walk, or just like I'll be walking and be like, oh yeah, I can do this, you know, or something, you know, or I'll think of another bigger idea, like a creative idea, like for down the road or something to start thinking about, you know. So it is it's more like a brainstorming session. That's what I used to do at the gym a lot too, but now like when I'm at the gym, I work out with like a buddy, so like we're just chit-chatting. I got a gym partner.
You have friends?
Who's your gym partner?
Caleb, the guy who actually did the Pack Talk podcast logo.
He lives over there by you?
Yeah, he lives like 5 minutes away from me.
Oh, nice. Good to go.
Hit Pivotal.
Having a gym buddy's good.
8 a.m. Workouts every day.
Push yourself to another limit with the gym buddy.
Yeah.
My last gym buddy, You all know who he was.
Little Greg.
Old Greg.
Also, I got a new pair of Bose headsets. I'm psyched. Got a wireless pair.
With that being said, I think you bring up a good point. Sunlight, super good for you.
Oh yeah.
So if you're someone that works inside a lot, inside of an office, and I've talked to Doc Anthony about this too because he's in his office all day, and he said, "Man, you guys are lucky. You get to be out in the sun all day with the dogs, right?
That's sunny.
Sunlight is a medicine. Your body needs it. Your eyes need it. You know. So if you're inside, I would say just getting out in the sun can help.
It's also better to do it shirtless. Just throwing that out there.
Hell
Just
yeah,
throwing that out
primal.
there.
It's better to do it pantless too.
Well, I mean,
And shoeless.
yeah. The more skin exposed, the better.
That's true.
Legit.
Get some dirt on your feet, primal.
Have you heard of those dudes that are like, oh, I gotta go tan my butthole? Have you
Yeah.
heard of those guys?
Yeah,
They're
that's me.
those-
That's
they're
me.
They're the health fitness guys that you guys love. I'm sure Liver King does it.
Probably.
Where they go and get sunlight on their.
I mean, you gotta get it
buttholes.
everywhere.
They literally tan.
Probably a good tactic.
And
It is
they,
a very,
they think it literally helps their health.
It is a very
Tanning
spongy
probably does.
area.
Have you seen Liver King?
I'm like, bro, if you like
tan.
sunburn your butthole though, how
Oh.
painful
Oh,
is
that's gonna hurt the wipe.
Yeah, you better
It's
be
just-
careful.
You're in pain all the time.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Hello, baby wipes.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
they probably have a squatty potty because you don't have to wipe with a squatty potty because
It's still would even just straight up pooping by itself would be.
We're moving on.
All right, next question. How to break up a dog fight between two dogs that are not trained, Kevin. How to break up a dog fight between two dogs that are not trained.
Listen, we got leashes on. What kind of collars?
No leashes.
We're getting
Flat
in there.
collars on each.
We're getting in there, boys. I mean, obviously,
You're walking down the street. There's two ladies. They're walking.
that's
Their
on
dog-
them.
Their dogs bust their leashes. The dogs are on top of each other. The ladies are but they have the broken part of the leash in their hand. You're a dog trainer. You need to help them out.
Yeah.
It's two ladies. What are you gonna do?
This is like it's like being a doctor where if you see somebody, you got to aid them. I mean, honestly, I'll probably grab that broken piece of leash, loop it, try to get it around one dog's neck to get them separated. Typically, if you can get the aggressor, maybe the other one won't be, as into it. Maybe they'll back down once you get the aggressor off. So once you can identify that, try to get them separated. I mean, ideally, try to get them on one to pull them away. They can grab the flat collar. They can do the same thing I'm doing with the leash. And at a time like that where everything's heightened, people's default is just pure panic, But yeah, that's what I would do. Loop it around, try to get control of the neck, try to get the aggressor away. Keep him away from me, too. He's probably going to be a lot of redirection going on, so keep him at an extent with a good hold on the leash to where it is tightening down once you get that solid loop on there. Then just separate. Once everything's calmed down, say, hey, you take that dog, go over there, go ahead and go home. You take this dog, go, don't make contact again.
Give him a card.
Yeah. Tuck a card in the collar, like, here you go.
Yeah. All right, Chris, how to break up a dog fight between two trained dogs. Trained dogs from Canine Revolution Dog Training. They've been through the advanced training program. They're both off-leash trained. These two dogs are wandering through a neighborhood with their owners. All of a sudden, they get too close. The dogs get into a fight. What do you do?
I mean,
The ladies, there's two ladies.
Why is it always women? What's wrong with women owners?
It's two dudes.
They're definitely on their own.
Two dudes,
yeah. I
What do
mean,
you do?
for the most part, like there's no perfect set way to break up a dog fight. But we're talking about trained dogs. We've got a communication system in place. So like we're talking about dogs that have been trained by us. I'm going to probably first rely on my communication system. No correction. Use a remote collar, right? Increase the levels till I can bring them out of the mindset. That's not a guarantee. You know what I mean? Like every dog is different. Depends on like what's going on in this fight. You know what I'm saying? My dog Vader has some genetic stuff. If he's allowed to get to that point, you're not going to correct him out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to physically get involved and remove him. So like there's training protocols we put in place that I do with my dog. I can see him getting into that mindset. I can use my communication to bring him out of that mindset before he gets to that point. But if we're talking, hey, we're already at that point, dogs are latched on, probably going to do a lot of the same stuff that Kevin does. My first step before I get to that point is I'm going to try to correct them, right, with my tools, my training tools, whether it's a leash, remote collar, that kind of stuff. They're off leash, relying solely on the remote collar. If that's not pulling them out of it, because sometimes, like when they're in that mindset, let's say I use my remote collar, I do a continuous correction and I increase it. They're in that mindset where they're in a fight. They can associate that with the fight and make them fight harder, right? So now your corrections are going to be ineffective. So at that point, I'm going to utilize a leash if I have a leash on me, like I usually always do. Loop them around, remove. I literally have a leash on.
He was ready for this.
Why do you have a leash?
I always have a leash on.
It's a dog
You never know when you're going to run into a dog fight, right? So
Is that one of the new leaches I got?
no, this is the
braided ones?
This is one of my personal leashes. I don't like the braided. I would
braided
not
ones,
not recommended the braided one. But I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to clip a leash onto a collar and something like that. Like it's just chaos. You know what I mean? So you can kind of make a makeshift slip lead, try to slip it over. You may have to, if one dog's latched onto the other, you may have to just literally wrangle the dog. Make a slip lead and remove the dog, by physical force, and then you do what you have to do. That's what I tell people. Like, there's no set standard on how to break up a dog fight. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to break them up.
All right, Lexi, you're walking in the neighborhood, and two dudes.
Two wieners.
One dude,
Two-wiener
one
dogs.
lady. One dude, one dudette. They got dogs. One dog is trained. They were trained by us, Canine Revolution Advanced Training Program. The other dog not trained. The dog's getting into a dog fight.
That's always the reaction.
So what are you gonna do? How you
I mean,
gonna break it up?
it's kind of similar to what Chris and Kevin have said, but first you can try to use our accountability and our communication for the dog that's trained. Maybe we're trying to break through their mindset. Probably not going to work, but you could try to give the trained dog like maybe a recall command, see if we can break through the mindset with, the remote collar as well. But then also, of course, physically separating, maybe if we get the untrained dog separated from the trained one, then it's going to be easier to, maybe recall or, get our dog, like the trained dog back into that owner's control. But, ultimately, like, Chris has already said, like, say, the communication, the accountability isn't working for the trained dog. It's going to be the same thing where you're physically separating those dogs. And then, I do think though that once the untrained dog is, not on or maybe latched on or, kind of going at the trained dog, it's going to be a lot more easier to manage the trained dog in that scenario while the other one might still be, trying to fight, trying to react. But if we're breaking the mindset of the trained dog, like not exactly in that fight, then, we can give them, maybe a down command, a stay command or something like that. And then while the other dog, the untrained dog kind of leaves the scenario.
All right, let's say you resolve the fight, and the dude who had the untrained dog, he said, "Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much for your help. Can I get your number?"
Give him a business card. Business card. You can have our company number.
All right, Lexi, back to you for a question.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Oh, just me?
This is just for Chris.
Oh, boy.
Well, maybe
planning
Chad,
this
but
out.
just for Chris.
I'm getting nervous.
So,
Something
Chris.
about family.
We know, by the way, Lexi hates dads. So.
No, I
Yeah,
do
well,
not.
we do
Oh
know
my
that.
gosh.
right,
Okay,
go
for
ahead.
anyone listening that doesn't understand that, I do not hate dads. They took one thing that I said and blew it out of the water.
Dads are old, I believe, is
I
what
have
she
never
said.
said that. I think dads are awesome. Dads are cool. They took something I said the very wrong way.
So just another day in the office.
Yeah, just another day. But, for everyone listening, I do not hate dads. Just
All
on the
right,
record.
lay it on me. Lay it on me.
But, Chris.
For the record, she said that.
Pro dad.
So, Chris, if you were to have a newborn child,
I am in September.
okay, just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Or
But
maybe,
so say
maybe not.
with
Maybe
this
October.
with this newborn baby, for its entire life, Chris, you can only teach it two things. What are you going to teach it? Kelly
Oh
can't
my
teach
gosh.
it anything. You can only teach
This
this
is the only
baby.
two things that this
Yep.
kid is going to know for its
well,
whole life?
that you're going to be taught by you. So yeah, the only things
Oh,
that it's
okay.
really going to know without learning on its own. But what are the two things you're going to teach it?
Good question.
I mean, right off the rip, I'm going to teach him about masculinity, how to be a man, because he is a boy, right? So
Okay.
that's pretty important to me. And then, but that could encompass a lot of things. But I'm going to probably just say,
I think that's too broad of a subject. Well, how are you going to teach that?
It's kind of broad.
What are you
but-
going to teach?
You only get two topics.
You only get two topics.
I mean, so I can't. That's too I mean, you got to teach a boy how to be a man.
In charge of the question.
You got-
I mean, there's like a lot of things that go into that now. That is kind of one subject, but like.
I'm gonna own that. That is what has to be taught. He's a boy. He's got to learn how to be a man.
Subject or a skill?
Either one. Just two things. You can only teach them two things. So I would kind of consider how to be a man as kind of one subject. So that's fine. I can accept that.
Can
but
you like read and write?
How do you teach that?
Nope, not unless that's one of the things Chris decides to teach.
I mean, I feel like he can get taught that. You can learn that stuff.
You can learn how to be a
By
man.
you. But you only have one more skill point left.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
So if you're teaching him how to be a man,
I'm teaching him how to be. That's far more
How do you
important.
teach him how to be a man?
I mean, you show him. You show him through your daily life. You know what I'm saying? You show him
well,
how to.
then do you want to waste one of your teaching things on that? Because then if he's just
There's a
around
lot
you,
that
he's gonna
encompasses
see
it. You got to teach him how to protect himself, how
All
to
right,
protect
all
others, how to provide for his family, how to lead. There's a lot of things that go into being a man, but that's privilege. You gotta.
Chris just gamed the question.
He did.
just taught everything.
Oh, well, he's still got one more.
One more subject
one more
area.
We'll say firearm skills.
Okay, I was gonna hope you were
Okay.
gonna say potty trained, but I guess so.
yeah, so he's not
I mean,
gonna
if we're
learn
being
how to-
honest-
Bro,
He's
I'm
gonna be
not.
45
Jackson
pooping his
just
pants.
goes outside. He pees off the porch. Boom, trained. Good to
If
go.
we're being honest, the
Yeah.
two most important things you teach your kid when they're young: how to feed itself, how to poop in the toilet.
You're not gonna teach him how to walk. So he's.
I mean, he'll figure that out. They'll figure that out on their own. For the most part, they'll figure that kind of stuff out. Even reading and writing. I mean, to the extent that you can survive, you can figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not that important. He's not. I mean, he ain't going to college. You know what I'm saying?
All
right.
Next question.
Good to go.
That's the only question.
I was asking it for just Chris.
Okay. Good to
okay.
go. All right, Chris, your
I'm
next
up.
question.
All right. For everybody, what is the most embarrassing moment of your life? We'll start with Kevin.
I like how they go straight to Kevin.
Yeah, start with the guy that.
Now.
Start with
You're
the
on
guy
the.
that's had
You're
nine
like.
concussions
You're kind of
and
like on the
memory
end of the circle, so it's easier to.
Man,
I don't feel like Kevin gets embarrassed.
I did. I mean, there's been times, I'm sure.
Maybe in high school. Do you remember him?
Not a lot.
So then they weren't that embarrassing. They weren't traumatic.
No, in 8th grade, I did get my ass kicked at the bus stop, and I did cry.
Oh god.
Not the ass kicking part wasn't embarrassing. The crying part was.
Crying
That-
part
yeah,
was
yeah,
embarrassing.
yeah.
Yeah, I could take an ass kick.
yeah,
We
yeah.
all know that
For sure. Yeah.
But
Easy
it was like such a heightened moment, and then like a cop rounded the corner, so it was like all dramatic, you know. And I'm just young. What are you in 8th grade?
Yeah.
What age?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Like 12,
13.
Maybe.
13?
12, 13?
13? No.
No,
I think
14
so.
maybe.
No,
No,
14
that's
is
like-
freshman.
I was
for
like
sure.
I was 15 when I was a freshman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like
that's what
12,
I
13
think.
probably.
12,
I think-
13. Yeah. So
I think you're
like
14.
preteen, a lot of most,
Yeah,
get your
you
ass
go
kicked.
through puberty.
Yeah, you got some stuff going on in there. You know what I mean? Hormones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the cop like walked me on the bus, which was even more embarrassing. You know?
It's like parading you.
Yeah.
around.
No, I got to school. I had to go to the nurse. So it wasn't even that bad of
Yeah.
an ass whooping. It was just there. You
Yeah.
know, but it was like
Yeah.
this whole big ordeal. So
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with the guy that did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. You know,
That's all I can think of.
All right.
Chad.
Honestly, I don't get embarrassed that often, but I will say probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me is one time I was with Lauren, and I thought I had to fart, and I pooped my pants.
Okay, so Chad didn't get top
He was
potty
definitely
training.
not embarrassed, but it's like,
Get top potty training. Right.
It wasn't really embarrassment. It was just like
Yeah.
a matter of fact. Whoa, I pooped my pants. Thought that was a fart.
that's how you know they got true love because Lauren's still here.
So anyway, that was probably the number one thing.
Lexi?
In my head.
I'm trying to think.
You ever poop your pants, Lexi?
No, but I'm trying to think. It's
You don't think of the embarrassing moments until you're laying down trying to go to sleep at night.
yeah, and then but I'm trying to think of what I've even had that's embarrassing. I feel like there's not a lot.
Car breaking down.
Well, I was like trying to think of something like that. I mean, it is slightly embarrassing to bring my car back to the same tire shop, 5 months in a row, once a month.
Yeah.
But I was like, but I'm not like necessarily like totally embarrassed, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like I have any super embarrassing.
Well, I guess we all have a new mission then.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, if you're a confident person, you probably don't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been like, I was trying to think of like the last time I was embarrassed, and I feel like it's not even.
I mean,
like
maybe not even
a
embarrassed, but just
big-
kind of like, well, I wish that didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, that's a different question. So let me go on the
Well,
first
everything
one.
happens for
But,
a
like,
reason,
I was-
right? So if it happened, this happened.
Maybe.
I mean, like it depends. Like there's like I feel like the last time I was embarrassed, but it's not like the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me, but it was like if I make a mistake, like, and then I feel embarrassed about that. Like one time I told Chad something that I shouldn't have said, and he like got onto me for it.
What?
And I was like, okay, well that was embarrassing. About and
it's
so
like
it's
every
like
day.
I mean, but it's like
I know what you're talking about.
it's not like I'm the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened, but that's like the last
Do we
thing
get
I can think
context
of.
on
Are you
that
talking about?
situation?
Are you talking about when Chris was on vacation?
Oh no.
No.
What are you guys talking
No,
shit
that
while I'm on
wasn't
vacation?
that was something else.
We got
No.
context or what?
Well, the Chris
Are you
vacation
keeping it
well,
closed?
okay, so-
You keeping it behind doors?
No, like I mean, like I said something about a training dog, like like making a joke.
Just a chihuahua thing.
Yeah, about a
We
chihuahua.
just talked about this
I was
yesterday.
making a joke about a
I
chihuahua,
remember this,
but like,
actually. Was this when
Yeah.
you were an apprentice?
yeah.
Oh
so,
my god, I remember this actually.
So-
It makes
and
total
that was
sense.
embarrassing. So it was like I made a joke about a chihuahua. You just making a joke, but Chad took it seriously, so he got onto me for it, and that was embarrassing because I was like, okay, I just made Chad almost disappointed or upset, and so like that type of thing is
That's fair enough.
embarrassing.
I remember
That's
that.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I was there.
and Ben was there.
I think
and
that was
so,
in
like,
front of a
and-
lot of
Lexi
people.
shut
Yeah,
down
it
for
was
the rest
also
of
in
it.
front
That
of a
can be
lot of
embarrassing.
people, and I was like, okay, I was just trying to make a joke, and it wasn't funny.
That counts
so
as
I shouldn't
embarrassed.
have done that.
Lexi, she shut down.
Yeah.
She just shut up.
Happens
And
It
did
was
her
just like,
work
okay,
after that.
okay.
happens.
I couldn't even explain that it was a joke because I was just like, I knew I was wrong. I was
Happens to
like, that was
everybody
so wrong.
when they're in training.
Good to
Yeah.
know. Ben,
Well, when Chris was on vacation, though,
Yeah.
when Chris was on vacation, we were shooting the shit about Chris, me and Lexi. And
what are you
said-
guys talking shit
And
about
I said, because you had called me, you were like, did you see that fox? I was like,
me? I was
"No."
home.
I was like, you're home. What the hell? You're supposed to be on vacation. Why aren't you at work?
Yeah.
And so then I go tell Lexi, and
No,
jokingly,
gosh.
I said, Lexi, I just found out that Chris is home, but he's not at work. What the hell is he doing? And she said, yeah, I called him this morning to talk
No,
about
no,
this,
no,
this,
no,
and
no. I
that."
didn't call him. I
Oh.
didn't call him.
Oh, you
I just
texted
said
her
we had texted. I knew that I was already wrong. Like the second
she
I
opened her
my
mouth, she's like, "Dang, I
and I
effed
was
up."
like, I should not have said anything. But I was like, yeah, Chris texted me this morning. Then I was like, oh, should not have said that.
I was like, oh, you and Chris were talking about work when Chris is off work.
yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Not good to go.
Yeah, that was not good to go. I wasn't like super embarrassed because also with that, like I had already like waited 2 days, and then I was like, okay, he said he's home. I was like, so maybe it's fine now. Still technically vacation, so not fine, but
He was home cutting his grass.
Yeah.
He was
That's
on that
that's my
lawnmower that he
vacation.
can't stay off of.
That was my vacation. The traveling part was for Kelly and Jackson. I get back, lawnmower. Oh, yeah. That was
All
a
right,
good
Ben, you got most embarrassing? Chris's question? Most
Yeah, I
embarrassing?
got a couple.
Well,
Give us the best one.
I just live a life of constant embarrassing moments. But probably the one
that night that you let Io out of your house and he's just running around.
that
you're
wasn't
chasing him
embarrassing.
for
That
hours.
was just pure. Either my life is over if I lose this cat, because my girlfriend would come home and kill me,
Lauren will
or yeah, that was just
That's just
pure-
shame. That was just
panic.
shame.
That was just panic. Once I got him inside, it was total relief. So there was no embarrassment there. But probably the first thing that comes to mind is that one time when we were on that boat, me and you, Chad, and I was almost pulled into the propeller and cut my arm off.
That's embarrassing.
That was
That would be
embarrassing.
terrifying.
That's embarrassing, bro.
Oh, because
I
you
the
wrapped
rope-
it around your
I
hand.
wrapped
Oh.
the rope around my hand.
You
because
effed
I
up.
wasn't thinking that
Bad
someone
move.
was gonna gun it while I'm pulling the tube in.
That was
looking
Chris Huss,
directly
not
at
me.
Chad.
Are you sure?
Chad's idea. I'm wrapping like this. I'm pulling the inner tube in. Someone's on the inner
Chad's
tube.
like,
I'm
"You ready?"
pulling 'em in to swap out, and I'm like wrapping the rope around my hand. I'm like 14 or something. I'm not thinking
Nice.
about it. I'm also not thinking that the boat is just gonna start driving immediately, and that's what Chad does. He full throttles it.
No, I wasn't.
and
I wasn't in charge of the boat. I was just standing next to the guy that was.
with the idea.
I may have been,
whispering
I
into
may
the
have been
pilot's
saying
ear.
things to him.
And it pulled me. The rope, obviously tightened immediately. Pulled me towards the propeller. We were in a pontoon boat, and I legit. I mean, my arm was definitely going to get cut off. My head maybe would have went to the propeller too.
I bet
And
you
then
he's never wrapped a rope around his arm
never again.
on a boat.
Never
Yeah,
again.
you learn.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then there's just the other times where I've gone to a couple house parties, and be like, oh, I'm gonna go so hard. I'm gonna drink it so much, and
Oh,
I
you
just
passed out.
I'm throwing up all night. I'm that guy on the toilet, quote unquote.
At least you made it to the toilet.
And then everyone that I talk to, like, oh, dude, yeah, you used to be throwing up all the time. Like that's just super embarrassing. Be like, yeah,
That's how they remember you.
I wish I would have, controlled myself, enjoyed my time. But that's just.
Kevin? Did Kevin already answer?
Yeah,
Kevin-
Kevin
Okay.
went. Kevin went.
All right, Kevin, your question.
Did Chris answer?
Wait, Chris.
Gosh, I was hoping you guys would just pass by. I was young. I don't know how old I was. I was on a canoe trip on the Edisto River. With our
when you were peeing off of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a great
Everybody saw
story.
your
This
wiener.
is a great story.
Why is that embarrassing?
No,
well,
let Chris
it's
tell
not
the
just that
story.
people saw my wiener.
It's just a wiener.
It's
Let
not.
Chris tell the story.
I'm
Not a bunch of girls.
I'm canoeing. There's nobody around us. It's just me and my buddy Matt Ferrara. He's in the front. I'm in the back. I said, "Hey, I gotta pee." He said, "Hey, just pee." I said, "Cool, copy that." We're coming around a bend. I stand up. I'm whip it out. Go to the bathroom. I'm peeing, and we come around the bend, and there's like a spring break party with
Hell
all
yeah.
all like college girls
Hell yeah.
sitting on the river bank out in the tubes, and they all just look at me, and I'm standing there.
They
just-
probably couldn't even see it anyway.
I mean, I was young. I was young, so it wasn't a size thing, but
What was the reaction?
there was some giggling. That's probably why the embarrassing.
Waving it?
No waves.
waves?
Just, mostly just giggles.
Now that's embarrassing.
Mostly just giggles.
That's embarrassing.
And I waved. I tried to own it as best as possible. Just ladies, but it was pretty embarrassing. So
pretty
I did
interesting.
not stop peeing though. I will say I had to
Interesting.
go.
What?
I had to finish peeing.
You had to
You
see.
do have to finish.
Holy cow.
I finished.
I would at least
put
cut
it
it
up, and
off
then
with
I've
that.
never canoed so fast. I was booking it. I was like I had a motor on that thing. So
That's
but
the
yeah.
most. That thing's locked in your memory.
Yeah, that was
This is
pretty
burned
embarrassing.
in your brain.
I've heard this
It was
story.
I don't get embarrassed
I've heard the
very
story
easily,
before.
but that was like that's definitely locked in there. It was pretty embarrassing.
I'll be honest,
So.
that's a great story.
That is a good story. All right, Kevin, your question.
All right, we'll go around the table. It's an opinion question. What would the world be better off with less of or more of? Oh, shoot. Up to you.
That's a dangerous question.
That's a hard question.
It's not hard for me, but it's dangerous. I might not.
What
be able
would
to-
the world be better off with less of?
Or with more of. You can go either way.
Oh, you can do either one.
Yep.
It's not both. The world would be better off with less processed industrial seed oils. I'll say that. Those are bullshit. Those are killing us. That's my answer.
Hashtag Carnivore MD.
Chris,
I don't know how to word
just blurt
this.
it out.
The world would be better with less weak people. We got a lot of weak people in
You know
this
what would
culture.
solve weakness? Less industrial seed oils.
The physical weakness, but then there's a
Well, mental too.
Yeah.
That's true.
mental
That's
too.
true.
That's fucking mental, too.
That's true. We'll just leave it at that. Weakness.
Lexi?
I mean, my world would be better off if there was less bugs.
No, it wouldn't though.
Less
It would
scary,
not.
creepy bugs. Now I know that the entire world would not be better off for that because like bugs do have a purpose.
Ecosystem. So what you're
but-
saying is the world in general would be better off with more guineas. to help
Yeah,
eat the
I
bugs.
mean, sure. I mean, more like things to keep the bugs away.
That's literally how Jurassic Park starts. You know what I mean? The guineas evolve, they eat, they grow, they get bigger, and then now we have dinosaurs again.
Yeah.
I'll go full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
So that's your answer.
I mean, but then if we're like being realistic, I mean, the world would also be better off with like less serial killers. So it's like it's like you
true.
could like say
What
that.
happened,
Like,
to, what happened to serial killers anyway? They're like not
They're
as
still-
big as
they're
I
still
mean,
killing.
they're
They're
around.
around.
They just
They're
get caught
not getting
faster.
Get caught a
yeah.
lot
They get
quicker.
caught
Yeah.
faster.
That
So, I
makes
mean,
Maybe, but
less-
maybe they are part of the ecosystem.
The last one that I heard of was the last one I can remember was the guys that were driving up and down the East Coast shooting people out of the back of their car. Remember that one?
You talking about the snipers?
Yeah, they were
The
sniping
DC
people.
snipers?
No, there's been some other ones, but
I don't really think that's a serial killer.
hey, but check it out. If we have less weak
Well,
people,
it was,
No, it wasn't
it was
serial-
multiple
it was a serial
cases.
killing.
Whereas, like, you know, the mass shootings all happen at once.
Well,
they were
yeah.
doing it at separate, like, gas stations.
When I hear
Yeah.
serial killer, though, I think of
like psycho people.
Ted Bundy.
like Ted Bundy type.
Yeah.
Like, not someone with a gun.
Not a mass
shooting
killer.
at
Well,
somebody.
that guy was a little shot. I mean, I was actually in 8th grade when that happened, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they put it in our yearbook as one of the, like, you know, world events.
Significant events.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy.
No, the DC snipers.
All right, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna be serious on this one.
That's
I
what
think-
that's what Kevin
I
wants.
think the world would be better with less political bullshit.
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
That's true.
everyone cares a lot about that stuff way too much and is at each other's.
It's like their
throat.
identity.
Yeah, like honestly,
definitely
bro,
true.
like y'all need to focus on just enjoying your own personal life more than.
So what you're saying is less government.
No, I'm just saying. See, that alone, you doing that alone is.
I was just saying that.
You're giving in. You're adding fire. You're
I was
adding
just
fuel
saying
to the
that
fire.
to Kevin. Yeah, I did feel the fire.
Like literally, just there's just too much bullshit about that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. It ruins people's mentalities. I feel like they get so consumed with it. So.
You know what else? The world would be better off with less of taxes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Judging by my pay stub, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Uncle
fact.
Sam loves you guys. I was about to say another word.
Yeah.
Kevin, you answer your own question.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes in line with Ben's. I mean, less division. Like, we don't all have to get along and agree on everything, but just we find reasons to be divided. So, like Stephen King's The Mist, there was a quote in there that said, you put 3 people in a room, they're going to start picking sides to find a reason to kill one another. And that's just where it goes. We just look for something to hate about somebody else, when we should just be focused on what's going on with ourselves. So a lot less division. I think less technology too. I think technology has made people very complacent. The ease of access, or the access of information being easier, is great. It's all well and good, but it also allows people to like create these bubbles and these echo chambers that can no longer be threatened by outside opinions, and when they are, it just turns into something that it's not. But that goes hand in hand with the division thing. So
Social media doesn't help either, because people have these fake personas on there.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, it's like so easy
yourself.
to like, oh, you disagree with me? Oh, you're removed your block. Now I don't have to see your opinion. I can surround myself with everybody else who believes what I believe, and just reinforce it to the fact to where if you believe anything else, well, you're just a hateful person.
Yeah.
Try to write them off like that instead of having like actual discourse.
Yeah, like we can. Why can't we just disagree on certain issues, but have conversations about it? I think that's how you make true progress.
Right.
Versus, hey, I'm blocking you, or hey, you're a bad person, and you're full of hate, and you're racist, and you're sexist, and you're this. So block this, cancel this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like, let's just talk about it and let's try to understand each other's point of views and have open mind on both sides.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's one thing to have an opinion, but a lot of people can't defend their opinion. They can't tell you why they have it outside of they heard it somewhere and just ran with it because it's an emotional response instead of like dissecting it and seeing, okay, well, why do you believe this?
Yeah. So the only pushback that I'll have on that is we can have opinions. One person can be on one side, one can be on the other. Somewhere in between is the truth. And I think we should all be dedicated to finding the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where we have these conversations and we figure out what is fact, what is not, right? And then now we're like living in this day and age where things are defined as facts. Like, hey, this is a scientific fact. And then we have some people that'll be like, they'll still argue it. Oh, no, and that's where the cancellation comes. Hey, I'm canceling you because you don't agree with what I'm saying. Like, like, there is truth. There is absolute truth. There's not a my truth. Like, there is the truth. And I think we should all strive as human beings to find what that truth is. Whether right now it's aligned with my opinion or not, I should have an open mind to hear all sides to see what aligns with the truth.
No, the dangerous part too is when you get into that echo chamber, you change the truth.
You can,
Because you say it enough until it becomes truth.
For sure.
And then the actual truth is a hateful lie.
For sure.
So then it just changes the whole dynamic.
And that's where you're closing your mind. You know what I'm saying? You're not keeping it. You have to, like, yes, you can get in that echo chamber, but you have to keep an open mind. You have to. Like, you can't be like, hey, this is the truth. I'm planting my flag right here. I'm always open to change, but I'm what sounds reasonable, what's not, what's the truth, what's fact, what's fiction.
You see it all the time. Oh, I have an open mind. We can disagree on things except for this.
Yeah.
It's like,
except
no,
this
you
one
can't
thing.
draw a
This
line in
is
the sand. Like,
I
you
think
gotta
the
be able
world,
to talk
I think
about
the
it.
world would be better with less seriousness and if people just enjoyed their freaking everyday
you're
life
alive, you know?
and like
Yeah.
actually just like straight up just like cared less. I don't know.
Let's go
Like,
walk.
had a little bit more
I will
humor
say
in their life.
I'm a pretty
Like, way too
jokey
serious.
person, I feel
Yeah.
like, but a lot of people don't like that. They're like,
Yeah.
you're too jokey. And then they'll block me.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like if we all, like I do agree with that. Like we need to just live our lives. But if we just let's say I have one issue that I'm like, hey, I really care about this, and on the political level, I'm just like, hey, I don't like politics. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to stand my ground on anything. The other side is going to take over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to get involved in it. If you're not getting involved with the issues that you care about, voting, all of that kind of stuff, then it's going to go a different way. And maybe now we're losing truth in that.
But
kind
if
of
you're
stuff,
doing
so.
that, which is normally how I approach things, honestly, I'm just like, whatever. Then you also at the same time have to be okay with what is happening because of you choosing to not.
You do.
be
You
involved.
have to be like basically.
what
It's
I'm
like how they say if you don't vote, you can't complain. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I mean, so like yes, that is. But like my perspective is like, dude, I got a son, that's going to be growing up in a world. At some point, he's going to be in this world without me, and he's going to have a son, and he's going to have, or daughter, whatever. He's going to have kids, right? And so, like, what's the world that they're going to be living in? We should care about it a little bit to an aspect. I'm not saying we need to, like Kevin said, we don't need to have all the hate. We need to have discussions, but I don't think we should fully back off of like, I'm going to stay out of politics because it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? There is an element of that. Like, I'm not a very political. I don't claim to be in the know of politics, but there are things that I track and I watch because it matters. Because my son's going to be growing up in.
We have less politics, less government.
Yeah. I mean, they say neutrality is like, I forget the quote. It's like the darkest pits of hell are reserved for those who remain neutral in times of conflict, something like that.
Yeah.
And to an extent, but like then it's like forcing this side or this side.
Right.
Like,
It's not that
side?
black and white.
Yeah.
It's not that black and white for sure.
All right, well, I'm drawing a line in the sand there, and I'm going to say, Ben, go to your next question.
He's got the list, boys.
All right, hang on. Let's see what we got here. All right, around the table question. Here's a fun one. What is a random fun fact that you have locked in your brain? Like, what's a random fact that you know that's just like random fun fact? Mine is that sharks cannot swim backwards.
I saw in a movie once that they did, though.
They can't swim backwards. It's
That's
literally
not fact.
impossible. Also, sharks never stay still. They can't.
Yeah.
They have to move
If
forward to stay alive.
If they do stay still, they sink.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you flip a shark upside down and you like move them a certain way, I think like backwards or something, they like that's how you pass them. Like you can make them pass out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ben knows everything about sharks.
Yeah, that's
He's
very,
a shark
Dude,
expert.
well, first of all, I'm terrified of sharks, but also
So
it's
learn
like,
everything.
know your enemy type thing.
Yeah.
But also, when I was in high school, I would literally come to class with a new fun fact every day for the class to lighten the mood. First of all, there's something about ostriches too, like they can't fly or something. But yeah.
No, they can't fly.
But I think they can run
they can
very
run.
We had
fast.
a problem when I
Yeah.
was a kid with ostriches. They can't fly.
I think that's
They
why I
can
like
bite.
history so much, because history is a bunch of random facts. Too,
Yeah,
I think.
like crazy stuff.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
random shit.
Yeah.
Just locked in my brain.
True.
Dude, I
Kevin?
guess I don't know any.
No one has any random fun facts.
Well, I mean,
Y'all are
so
weird.
I have
every
one that's
time,
inappropriate.
well, every time I watch Hulu, they'll do like this ad that like tells these things that people don't know, and I'm not sure exactly how they word it, but it's like something like flamingos are like gray until a certain age, and then they turn pink.
They turn pink because of the fish that they eat.
Yeah,
It's
something
like
like
their
that.
diet that turns them pink.
I was like, that's a fun fact that it's got locked
That's
in
a
my
fun
brain
fact.
because it comes up on the TV every 10 minutes. They do an ad,
Yeah.
and then it's like flamingos are gray, and then they turn pink.
Yeah.
There are trees that will change their genetic ecology in their leaves so that they don't get eaten by like giraffes
Yeah.
and stuff.
Did you know that oak trees?
So they can stay alive.
Oak trees actually seek each other out.
So this is a fun
with,
fact.
with their roots. Yeah, so their roots, like if there's two oak trees within vicinity, they'll figure out that they're there, and their roots will grow
That's crazy.
towards each other, and they'll intertwine, and it creates a stronger connection between them, and that's why oak trees or at least multiple oak trees are super hard to blow down in like hurricanes. Like think Charleston Battery, it's all oak trees. They're all intertwined.
Yeah.
Every hurricane that's come through, they're there,
And they're old. They're like 300
and they're old.
years old.
You know what I'm saying? So that's like an oak tree.
It's like the Ents off of Lord of the Rings.
But it is crazy how things evolve over time. You know, like plants will evolve, but yeah, like you said, they'll change their they'll push different chemicals, defense chemicals,
Yeah.
into their leaves,
Yeah.
to prevent from being
Legit
eaten.
living organisms.
That's why you don't want to eat plants.
So all the studies are showing
that
that
was
pretty much plants
about
are
giraffes.
like sentient beings now.
What are
Plants.
plants?
Yeah, like they're aware.
They're alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
I wonder if they have like experience levels of pain or anything. Anyway,
Don't go that route.
I mean, you
it's my
start.
war against the
They're
vegans.
The moral is, the moral of the story is don't eat plants.
Yeah. Don't eat.
Moral of the
plants.
story is, Chris, you don't have
Maybe you
fun
should think twice before you cut down a tree.
fact. Chad,
Think about that.
looking
tree.
at
Here's
your
a fun
pines
fact:
outside, you have X.
when wild animals kill, they hunt an animal, they kill it, they go for the organs. Maybe we should eat organs.
They go for the
Don't eat plants,
the
eat more
genitals
organs.
normally, right? Because you got a handicap.
Testicles are good.
That's what the
Testicles are
lions do when they hunt.
Testicles are
They go
good. The
straight for
liver,
the
good. The heart, kidney.
genital.
I'm not gonna.
Still not
I
on the
can't. I
kidney
still
train.
can't do the kidney, man.
I don't know. No one has any fun facts.
I mean, dust in your home is 95% made up of human skin.
Okay, thank you. Great fun fact.
And cockroach poop.
I gotta change.
Cockroach.
Which I'm allergic to.
Gotta change my
I can't believe it.
filters today.
Couple fun facts: you should change your home's air filter once a month at least.
Yep.
Correct.
I'm definitely behind on that.
That's for maintenance of your home air conditioning.
Lexi?
Uh-oh.
What are you,
I was just
pressing
over
your
here
lips
thinking,
for?
uh-oh.
You have a
Like-
maintenance crew. That
I mean,
should
there's
do that
like
for you.
there's like
Do
typical
they?
things that a lot
You
of
gotta
people
tell
don't
them
know.
to.
Oh, it's like, do they?
There's typical things that a lot of people don't know that someone says to me. I'm like, oh yeah. They're like, how'd you know that? I was like, I just know these things. I don't
It's
know
easier
understand
for me to bring it up in conversation rather than be put on the spot.
Yeah.
I
My
have
whole
a
brain
fun
just
fact.
shuts down.
Yeah.
I have a fun fact. I learned this yesterday.
All right.
Well,
Fresh fun
okay, and
fact.
I don't think that it always works, but a fun fact. If your toilet is clogged and you don't have a plunger, you can cover the whole thing in duct tape to create like an airtight like area or like packing tape. Like if you line up packing tape just in lines and cover it so no air can get out, and if you flush it and push down on the tape, it'll unclog it because of the pressure.
What?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Why don't you have a plunger?
Take a
I don't know.
I mean, the time it took you to take
just
the
don't-
toilet, you could just go to Dollar General
Yeah.
and get a $2 plunger.
Hey, I mean, I was just like, I don't have a plunger. It was, storming outside. I was like, I'm going to figure this out.
enough.
And
Fair
so
enough.
I looked it up, saw it on YouTube. I was like, all right. And then I just did it. And yeah,
Did you document this?
I did not, but it also was very trial and error. So it did overflow the first
Oh,
couple.
nice.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Did you mop?
I don't have a mop.
Oh
No.
my god, so you have poop floors right now.
It's still there.
That is
yeah.
disgusting. Oh my god. I want to.
Hey, nobody said it was poop.
No, there was
It is
not.
poop.
She didn't say the poop clogged it. She never told
No,
us that
I don't
detail.
know what clogged it. I literally
Could've
woke
been-
up, I flushed it, and it just kept coming up. And I was like, oh, God.
I'm trying to help you out.
There's
Lexi.
only one thing that clogs the toilet, and that's poop.
I thought it was toilet paper.
Too much TV.
That's not true.
All
You should
right,
know with
moving on.
toddlers. That's
I mean,
not
the only thing
thing.
that came
well,
out was
that's
like
different.
yellow water.
Ew, Lexi. Stop. Disgusting.
Ben's getting grossed
I'll
out.
give you my mop bucket, bro.
All right, moving on.
it cracks me
Lexi,
up.
time for your question. What
Oh,
question do you got?
gosh. What question do I have? All right, so we just had a serious one. I have a jokey one. So, and this is going to go for everyone. But if you had to pick one person at the table to fight to the death, who would it be?
God.
So you're going for the weakest person so you can beat him.
Gift.
Lexi,
I
I feel like
mean-
me and you are about to get picked
Yeah,
up.
it's like, well, but then this also answers because
These dudes are
whoever you pick, that's who you want to die. Because obviously you're gonna pick the person that you think you can beat.
Why do you have to
You
pick
wanna
someone at
pick
the table?
someone
Why
that-
can't you just say, hey, let's go team up and let's go kill somebody
Nope,
else?
because
No,
it's
it's
got to
fight
be
to the
someone at the
death, right?
table. It's
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 got
just like,
yeah.
what's that movie?
Gladiator.
No.
Like 4 different movies.
They had a question in there. If you could find anybody from history, who would it be? He was like, I'd
Gladiator.
fight Gandhi.
Gladiator, but what's that movie where they force everybody into the artificial arena?
Oh, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it's
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So, well, now that's a game changer. What are we
Yeah,
talking?
so is
Fist
this Hunger
fight?
Games or is this just
We
hand
talking like
fighting?
two people go out to the woods and hey, fend for
We're
yourself.
talking Gladiator Arena.
We're talking
Coliseum.
Gladiator Arena? You
Yeah.
get one
Hands? Any
Yeah.
weapons?
Well,
Weapon,
I mean,
do we get weapons? Or is it hand-to-hand combat?
yeah, weapons because we gotta have a fair fight. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, we're gonna have
a
to
firearm
have
is a weapon.
But every no.
No, okay, let me change this. Let me change
Sword.
this. Because Ben and I would,
Spear.
Ben already mentioned we'd probably be the first go-to. Ben and I get one weapon, you guys don't.
Oh.
Now who are you choosing?
Well, what weapon do you get?
It's still not gonna
Big
matter.
sword. A sword.
Sword.
I'm gonna choose a bow and arrow and stay away from you. Run around while you chase me and shoot
See,
you.
Yeah,
my
you
whole-
better- you
my
better
whole
hit. You
childhood
better
I
hit.
spent battling Ben.
Actually,
So,
I'd probably pick a spear.
Big Ben.
Honestly, for length.
My whole
Yeah,
childhood,
yeah.
I've battled Ben my whole life. So childhood wise, at least. Physical
Chad actually
altercation.
You
already
know you
tried
can
to kill me
prevail,
one
so you
time.
would pick
He
Ben.
stabbed me in the back
Just
with a
once?
bone knife.
I've already prevailed, so I know all Ben's moves. So I picked Ben.
No, Ben's moves.
You haven't fought me in a couple of years, bud. You don't know my moves anymore.
So Chad will pick Ben. Kevin, who are you picking?
I don't know.
Kevin doesn't want to pick.
I don't. I mean,
It's
actually,
Lexi or Ben.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, you could pick me or
well,
Chris.
sometimes you just
Maybe-
want a
maybe
good
you
one.
wanna-
You know,
want to
You want
challenge?
to go down fighting?
you want a good one. If we're talking,
mean-
if we're talking size, me and Chad would be a good clash.
Okay, all right.
We're talking,
Let's do it.
you know, Chris. You know, he's a little dirty.
I was gonna say I would just for the challenge.
That's
I would
all.
pick either Kevin or Chad because I think
Challenge of death.
I think they would underestimate me. My size is a little
Yeah.
smaller than them, and they don't know the things that I will do.
The links that you're willing to
The
go.
things that I the places that I will put
Things.
fingers and you're not gonna like it. You're just not gonna. You're gonna
Put your
tap
fingers somewhere in my body, like my butthole.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm cinching down on that thing, and now I got
Dude.
the upper hand.
He's got those
just kinda
glutes.
weird.
locked
I'm just
down
going
on your-
further,
I got the
boys.
glutes. Boom. Good. Go ahead.
You
Go
ain't gonna
ahead. I
like
got
it.
you cinched down.
I can get real dirty real
Hey,
quick.
Chris might be shorter, but he's packing some muscle. He's packing some muscle.
I'm
dude.
scrappy. I'm scrappy.
He's scrappy, boy.
All right. So who you picking? Me or Kevin?
Yeah, well, either or. I'll take either.
Kevin's picking me.
And
I'm
the
picking Ben.
Past
Lexi,
6
who
months,
you
he's
picking?
bulked up.
I mean, honestly, I'd probably pick either Kevin or Chad just because of the fact that y'all are so big. If
They
I
would
can
just
stay away
lay
from
on
you
you.
guys,
Chad's
I'll
fast,
beat you with
though.
stamina.
Chad
Chad's
is
quick.
fast.
He's
Okay,
the
well, if
fastest
Chad's
ever.
fast, then I
Slow,
pick
but
then I
he's
pick
big
Kevin.
boys.
Then I pick Kevin because
I'm patient.
if I can stay out of his way long enough,
Kevin might
Kevin will
just
get
stand there
tired
and
later.
wait for you to come to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit down, read a book.
No, then I'm gonna there's a way you can fight to where I get like, okay, I have the sword, so like if I'm chasing him with the sword, I'm just chasing him till he's tired. Then
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
you
gonna
swing that sword. Now you have to recover from that. That's his opportunity.
Dude, your
to grab
swing, you better
Yeah, but
land
I'm
a kill
faster.
shot.
So if I need to, I just drop the sword and I run, and then
Then
I.
Kevin-
Now I have the sword.
Now,
Kevin has the sword.
but now Kevin chases me. I'm gonna outrun him.
Think
so
about it. You're in a
I'm gonna
Coliseum,
go.
though. You
How
can't
big
go
is this
nowhere.
arena?
I can run in
Yeah, I mean-
circles.
I mean,
I
he
can
can
run in
sprint.
circles all day. So if I'm running
Y'all
in
know I ain't
circles,
running.
I
Yep.
just
Pick up the
exactly.
sword, just start walking like Jason.
All right,
See,
Ben.
I just
Who
gotta
you pick, Ben?
do the
Well,
same.
Lexi's
First
picking
of all, I
Kevin.
just want to say, most people probably think I'd pick Lexi, but
I can't hit a girl
Lexi
unless it's deserved.
Is
So.
not
She's
a
got a
common
sword.
Female.
Oh, that's true.
She has some strength to her.
Thanks.
She's got
She
some
does.
scrappiness to her. Just
She
like
does.
Chris.
That's why I didn't pick her.
I would pick Chris, but Chris
He doesn't want a
is-
finger in his butt.
I'm not even worried about that. I know Chris could probably outmaneuver me.
Think so?
Yeah, I think it might be coming down between Chad or Kevin.
See,
and I think,
everyone picked Chad.
I think-
Kevin are like apparently the go-to guys to fight.
I think it's me because I'm slow.
I think I legit would fight Chad.
Well, look, there's an
Deadass.
element of it too.
I mean,
Like,
you do
fought
have a lot
me-
of practice.
You
know.
fought me many times.
I think I would fight Chad, and I would have a chance.
Special
think
guest
so?
I
referee
think
Andrew.
so.
You think you'd have a chance?
I think so.
Well, you know,
Hey, maybe
they-
we
when
need
we're
to do a
talking-
YouTube video.
Maybe we do.
MMA wrestling style.
Oh
Maybe,
my
maybe
God.
we need to have one of those.
Maybe we need to go rent an
tho-
octagon.
Those blow-up octagons
Oh,
with
yeah.
the sticks. Maybe we need to do
Oh yeah. We probably do need to do that.
you know what they say in a group? Like if you want respect, you got to go for the biggest, baddest dude in the room. So that's the
I didn't
strat.
say he was the biggest or the best. I'm picking weakness. I'm picking weakness.
You're thinking he's weak.
He's the weak.
He's
link
pretty
here.
strong. They're both
Hey,
pretty.
he's got
him
a,
and
he's
Kevin
got a
are
bad
pretty-
left arm. Just know I know that. I know
That's
where
true. He did- his
Should
bicep
be
is-
rehabbed all the way now.
Nah. There's
think
still
it's bad?
There's
Alright.
still a scar mark there. I'm gonna go for
There's,
your arm.
there
there's
is a
always
scar
going to be a
mark there.
scar there.
I'm gonna weaken that arm up.
Let's just say back when I was training jiu-jitsu with the Marines,
one
they
mark.
always underestimated me, but my strength helped me.
He's strong. I can
Let's
vouch.
just say that.
I didn't say you weren't strong.
Let's
But
just
you
say
ain't
my
that
legs-
strong with
you
no
get-
eyeballs.
if I can get you between my legs, the dead
I
ain't
mean,
gonna
I
get me
do
there.
think that I could have a slight advantage though, just because all y'all are males, so all y'all have a weak spot. So if I can be quick enough, just
not
to like,
weak
you
anymore.
don't think
Just
it'll hurt
it-
you there if I kick you as hard as I can?
I mean,
we're
no,
thinking
it would, but it's different. So like, if I could, get a one good shot to like any of you guys, maybe you guys would
If we're doing
collapse.
that,
and
I've heard that a punch to the boob
Mm.
is still.
I mean,
punch.
but it's
might
probably.
take you down.
I was like, but it's not
There's
in
other
comparison, probably to getting hit in the
there's
balls.
other areas that you can be hidden in your body, and it's excruciatingly painful,
I'll do
and it's going to
this.
stop
Like
you long
your
enough.
eyeballs.
Smack
Nobody
you
thinks
both-
about the eyeballs.
Sherlock Holmes smack you on both sides of your head, on the ears. Concuss
I
you.
think there's something about like the neck
Elbow
too.
shot.
If like you
Pop your
press on the
eardrums.
neck, that also hurts or
Look,
something like
these
that.
two fingers
Yeah.
right in here. You just push in, pull the
Let's
eyeball.
just
Oh,
let's just say
gross.
I have been
Immobilized.
in physical altercations before in training scenarios, and I have been kicked right in the balls, and I've learned to power through it.
Ooh.
Your adrenaline will carry you.
Oh, yeah.
But afterwards, you are gonna.
Yeah,
go.
it will be hurting later.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, we're moving on.
Yeah, we
That got
We could
crazy.
have gone another 20 minutes.
All right.
Crazy.
Next question. We'll start off with Lexi. How do you get your dog to stop digging holes in the yard?
Is this before any type of training? Just normal?
No training.
I mean, first thing you want to do is management. So if your dog's digging holes in the backyard, obviously, to stop that behavior, we're not just going to let them be in the backyard by themselves. So first thing is, even if that means like, okay, maybe you usually leave your dog in the backyard when you go to work. Okay, well, if your dog's digging holes, you want them to stop digging holes, they can't practice the behavior. So, instead of leaving your dog in the backyard while you go to work, okay, they're going to have to be in the kennel. or, if they can be trusted inside, but who knows if they're going to dig up the carpet, depending on the dog. But, first, kennel. And then we also, of course, like I mentioned, we want to break the behavior. So even, you get home from work, you don't just go let them out in the backyard. You're going to have to take them out, on a leash so they're not, digging. Say that they try to dig, we guide them away from that, from the area they're trying to dig. If, we need to do it, if they're digging everywhere, maybe we take them to a place where there's, no grass, no, dirt, nothing that they can dig. Now they have to pee on some concrete, But, just making it so they can't practice the behavior kind of ever, for long periods of time. Ultimately, we do want to kind of implement an accountability with our communication system with our dogs. That's another thing we want to do. Like, say, all the dogs that go through training with us, we condition the remote collar. Okay, that's their accountability. That's not saying, if your dog's digging holes in the backyard, go put a remote collar on and start using it. But, if they've been through a conditioning process for the remote collar, if we let them, out in the backyard, once again, we're going to be watching them. But, then they start digging. We use our accountability word, no. And then, follow up with our, kind of correction with the remote collar there, showing them that, they're not allowed to kind of dig in the backyard.
Good to go. All right. Going to Lexi, you got a question?
I just asked the last question, but I can ask another one.
Oh, you did?
I was like, I asked the fight to the death
All right,
question.
then it's Chris. It's back to Chris. Sorry, I skipped everybody. I thought it was my turn again.
Okay, for everybody, one book recommendation that changed your life. Chad.
I will say the Power of Understanding People.
That one's mine.
Definitely one changing.
Took your book. That's a good book.
Yeah.
Power of Understanding
Yeah, you
People.
took
Highly
my book.
recommended. Next question.
Kevin.
Man. I don't know. We've read a lot of good ones, honestly. I mean, I'm
pick one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna stick with Gary Weissman. Unfuck Yourself. This is a really good one.
book.
I haven't read that one. Heard it's good.
I know you're not.
I mean, no, I don't. I haven't read a ton. I just read the books that we typically read. I was gonna say The Power of Understanding People.
Yeah, that one's really good.
So I'm like that one. Like, I know you guys typically, and I think your answer is probably The Dog's Mind. Is that what you were gonna say? Oh, okay. I was like, y'all always bring
book,
that one
though.
up. I mean, that one,
book.
it was
Wave
good,
Man.
but
Wave Man.
What?
No,
The way. Oh yeah, that's
It's Lexi's turn next.
no, but I mean that's all I was gonna say is you guys mentioned The Dog's Mind a lot. I mean, it was good, but I definitely wouldn't say like that's one that like I don't know, changed
What's
my
the best
life.
one?
I'd say The Power of Understanding People.
So that's two for the Power of Understanding. People.
Extreme Ownership too. I'm just throwing that one.
I mean,
Now
that was
you're
a good
taking
one.
other people's answers.
That's a good one.
All right.
Ben, you got one?
I don't read.
All right, fair
You've
enough.
never read a book in your life. What's the most memorable book you've ever read?
Probably like a Star Wars book. I don't have the attention
Did it change your
span.
life?
I don't have the attention span to read books.
All right,
Very
Chris.
well. I would say definitely extreme ownership for sure.
I did take
Just
his answer.
every little thing that comes up and you think, oh man, I could. Oh, extreme ownership. You know, it makes you not a bitch. Basically,
Yeah.
you got to own everything. So definitely legit life changing.
I will say the only books I liked reading, A to Z mysteries. They are preteen.
You read them yesterday.
Detective mystery books. Okay.
Nice.
Chicken
All right.
soup for the pet lover soul was good.
Yeah.
Kevin, your turn for a question.
All
Asking
right.
a question.
Let's see. Which one do I want to do here? All right. I know for us, it's probably a thought. You know, for us three, or Lexi maybe not so much because she is a little bit younger than us. But how long do you think you'll do this for, Chad?
Dog training?
Yep. If you had to think of like an age,
I can't see an ending.
right? I mean, think of it. I mean, we're always going to be involved in the dog world at some point in our life. But how long are you going to be out there in the trenches? You know, doing downstays with dogs. You're going to be 75 out there cranking it out, or
Are you kidding? If anybody is going to be 75, it's going to be this guy.
I think so because it's good for me.
yeah.
Even if I'm not doing like an actual training dog, I might have a dog that I have myself. You know, that's like a puppy or whatever. I'm training. So I don't see myself stopping.
All right.
So that's my
Christopher?
answer.
Yeah, I mean, no end in sight. Honestly, I can't. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm not gonna. You can't. You shouldn't paint yourself in a box. But yeah, there's no end in sight.
All right. Do you all have any plans of retirement at all? Let me put it that way.
I mean, I
'Cause
am.
you can still train.
I'll retire.
I am
Okay.
preparing for later life.
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
an Roth IRA,
Yeah.
got some other investments going on.
I mean, you just don't know. You could have you could do this business and a dog rips your arms off or something. And then you're. I'm gonna still figure it out.
My buddy John got a pretty bad. This was years ago. Pretty bad bite to the arm. It took him out for a while for training.
I mean, those kinds of things can change a dog trainer's career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like those are things that you got to plan for. So like, yeah, I am planning for retirement, and I probably will retire. But what does retirement look like? I don't know. Like I see a lot of people that retire and like just waste away.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of depressing to me. Like
You
they
gotta
just
stay busy.
Okay, woo!
Yeah.
I got like that was all they were looking forward to in life. I'm gonna retire. Boom! I retired, and now you
what?
just sit on your ass
Yeah.
all day. You're watching TV. I'm like, that seems like that's not a life that I want. I want to still be active. So like, yeah, maybe I'll retire. Maybe I won't. maybe not. I don't know. Maybe retirement will be when I'm 90 years old.
I
And
still
I'm like,
feel like if I even got like a injury,
yeah, we'll figure it
you
out.
know, where I couldn't actually do something myself, I could still consult other people. But you're talking about actually handling, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the way that we do it now, the way that we operate now.
Yeah.
You know, the day in and day out, the appointments, the training, the multiple dogs.
I mean, there's
all
got to
that
be a
stuff,
point
you
in
know?
time where you're going to physically have to slow down.
Right.
Right? When will that be? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
Lexi's over there shaking her head. She's like, I eat an orange every day. It's not happening.
I mean, as long as you keep yourself fit and healthy, I mean, you don't need to slow down.
I mean,
Prepare your body
being
young.
active and what we do helps keep me fit and healthy.
Yeah.
I agree, but at
Because
some
I'm-
point, like, look, my great grandmother was fit and healthy till the day she died, but she couldn't do what we do. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point,
Well,
you
there are,
you
well,
have
when
to
you're
put.
when you're older, there are going to be dogs that are physically that you're not able to physically.
You're going to have to put
You have,
limits
to,
on
you have
yourself.
to change things.
Yeah.
Change
Right.
things up.
For sure.
So if you were to put an age on that, when do you think it is?
You can't put an age.
I think it depends on the person too, though. Like,
Yeah.
Chad at 70 could be different than, me at 70 or, Chris
sure.
at 70.
yeah,
like,
definitely different than Chris at 7.
I was. I mean, I won't disagree with that. But look, I was on a SWAT team with a 65-year-old dude with a six-pack that could do 300 sit-ups in one go and outsmoke everybody on the team. This dude's 65. He's retirement age.
I mean, going back to our podcast with Tyler Watkins, compound interest.
Yeah.
Applies to your life as well as your finances. What you
Yeah.
do today pays off later in the future. That's why I
Yeah.
try to be as healthy as possible. I try to be as active as possible. I try to take care of my body as best as possible. That's why I go see Doc Anthony every month to keep my spine in check. That's why I go to the dentist every 6 months at least. Keep my dental health in check. Your dental health is critical. That's why I eat nutrient-dense food majority of the time. I do like my DiGiorno every once in a while. My oatmeal chocolate chip cookies every once in a while. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of the things I do are geared towards longevity. And there's a guy that's like an expert in longevity. His name is Peter Attia. If you haven't heard of him, he's done at least one podcast with Joe Rogan where he talks about this stuff. But he lays out some things that you should be trying to do to keep yourself as longevity as possible. Also, swimming. Great for longevity. My swim coach, Chuck, shout out to Chuck. Dude's 69.
Smokes you.
Dude is smoking me in the pool. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of things.
Yeah.
So longevity, that's the key.
But also plan for retirement.
Yeah. So yeah, I am. Again, I'm planning for later life. I got the Roth IRA. I got other investments going on. XRP right now. XRP, go for it. It's a crypto.
Oh.
Anyway, does that answer your question, Kevin?
It does.
All right.
Sort of.
Do you have any other questions in this regard for
No,
anybody
I mean,
else?
Lexi.
I
forever.
kind of already answered it, but I mean, like, I don't
Lexi's
plan on.
young.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I have my
started.
whole life ahead of me. So it's
do.
like I prepare, myself for this young. Then you can do it even longer because your
Yeah.
body's already used to it.
Hell yeah.
So
Take care of your body
mean-
now.
yeah.
It's gonna pay off later.
Now he just mentioned the dentist, so maybe I need to go to the dentist. But
You I don't want to say probably. You do. Your
It's
dental health
probably-
is critical.
It's been a
dental
couple
health
years.
is linked to a whole host of other health issues. Anyway, end of tangent.
Just
Ben?
chew on pine branches.
yeah, it's like I brush my teeth.
Yeah, I mean, I got the creative brain, so like I'll probably always be doing something, even if it's not in dog training anymore. But that's the idea, the concept.
Ben will be old and decrepit in one of those like little wheelchair things.
I'll still be
filming.
like making TikToks when I'm like 80.
Oh, dude, if I ever need a wheelchair, I want one of those battle tank wheelchairs with the what do you call them? With the
The track?
the tracks on them.
Yeah.
off road.
Yeah, especially around here on the property. Oh yeah,
Dude, I'm getting one if I have to go wheelchair.
I might get one just to have one.
And then the truck that picks it up and puts it in the truck, and you're good to go.
This is
Anyway,
what it is, Rob.
all right. Next question, Ben. What do you got?
This is one of my last questions. It's a very generic one that is asked a lot. But what is something that when you were younger you wish you would have known or already, acted upon when you were to help yourself later in life? Mine would be saving more money, probably, like at least micro saving. But when you're young,
People tell you to do that.
I know but
Dad told me and you.
I mean, I was gonna say old person. Every person that's older than you, especially if you're like a teenager in high school, they're all gonna say that stuff. But I feel like most teenagers, it don't matter. Like even if, it
You
is.
try to tell people.
You're younger. You're just not thinking about that stuff.
The only one who listened was Lexi.
It legit does help you down the road.
That is true.
If I would have saved $20 from every paycheck I got, and I didn't get paid a lot, but like it still would have helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially teenage boys, like we're dumb. We just want.
I'm
We're just
still
living for
dumb.
the
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's why I listened. I was like, I'm female.
I still kind of am.
My dad was like, save, and I was like, all right. No, I'll
Sounds
save.
good. We're like,
Yeah.
no, I want to go get some bubble gum from the store or whatever. We just buy stupid
Teenage
stuff.
boys.
Yeah.
You're only focused about one thing.
It's true.
A dime bag and a Bud Light.
Anyway, so what? So Ben's is saving money.
That and probably maybe I don't know. I feel like it's a trick question, actually.
Trick question.
I do. I feel like
It is.
everything that you go through does propel you if you improve upon it. If you don't improve upon yourself, it may not help you.
Yeah.
You may not learn your lessons, your life lessons.
That's
But,
true. That's definitely true.
if you continue to improve yourself, over time, you'll just take those experiences, apply them to your current life. But if you don't improve, then you will maybe fail to a certain degree.
Sometimes though, also if
misery.
you don't fail, you don't improve. Sometimes that's part of the journey. You got to go through those. Like we learned to save because we were in debt because we made bad decisions or we did this. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, now this is why you get better with money or or get better with whatever in life because of the experiences you had when you were younger.
I would. Well, my second answer was going to be like maybe focus. Well, like school is just like hard for me because like I just like attention wise.
School's stupid.
School.
I just got ADD, bro. Like I legit can't focus. Like
Middle,
it's-
elementary, high school, it should be restructured. I mean, you're
They
expecting
are
kids.
restructuring it now.
They
Actually, I saw South Carolina just passed a law that said they high schoolers are required to complete a financial freedom class.
Well, that's good, but what I'm talking about is kids are in
that's-
school from
yeah.
8 a.m. to
Yeah.
3 p.m. They're sitting in desks all day.
yeah.
That's
And
not
they-
what-
you're supposed to be active.
be
So you
restructured.
got,
And then
you
it's
gotta,
just one curriculum for them to all adhere
right.
to.
You gotta. That has to be changed.
That's like
but
a whole
anyway.
system change, though.
Yeah.
You gotta rip it, gut it,
Yeah.
start over. But if I didn't fail in school or had lower grades to where I couldn't go to a college or certain college, then I never would have gotten to my media arts degree. Never would have learned the skills to get me here with you guys helping the company grow. So it all worked out in the end. You know what I'm saying? Life
helping people and dogs.
Yeah.
Helping people and dogs. What you do is helping people and dogs. What we do is helping people and dogs. And there's a lot of people that are in need.
Yeah. For sure.
If I could go back when I was a kid, and one thing I wish I knew was how to be a little bit more nutritious. When you're a kid, you're just eating shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
If I knew more about nutrition and actually how to train, in a smarter way. Because sure, I was going to the gym and working out, but it wasn't like the things that I know now. So if I would have been starting what I know now back then, probably be in better physical condition, better physical shape. But playing football, good to go because they're telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Swimming, good to go, whatever. But yeah, that's for me.
That's all you got,
That's all I got.
Kevin?
I mean, financial's a good one for sure. I can't really think of anything outside of that.
Well, Ben took that one.
I know.
You can have the same answer. It's all right.
Because everything that I've done, every mistake that I've made, everything that I didn't know and that I didn't learn has led me up to this point in my life.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah.
That's why it's a trick question.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's all.
like, pretty happy with everything that I've done, went through, and where I'm at right now. So
Chris?
I'm going to use another vague blanket statement: extreme ownership. I wish I understood that concept much earlier on.
I wish everybody understood that concept.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? I think that would cover a lot of the
There's
things.
some things
that
you
we're
didn't
talking
take
about.
ownership of when you were younger.
For sure. I mean, myself, you know, I mean, it's even especially as a kid, it's easy to go into that victim mentality of, the world's against me, blah, blah, blah. You know, like having extreme ownership, I think would have improved all these aspects that we've talked about. You know what I'm saying? True. So, but that's what I would.
Lex?
I mean, I think for me, it'd be, I don't know, like, okay, so it's not that I'm necessarily impatient, but I would say that, like, you know, I almost wish, like, if I could go back and tell myself one thing, it'd be like, you know, you don't always have to rush into big decisions. Like, for example, like, you know, yes, I saved a ton of money. Yes, I bought a car, like the car that I want, you know, like what I would consider my dream car. I rushed into it because my car was broken, like my previous car is broken. I ended up buying, yes, my dream car, but a pretty crappy one of it, you know, like it's like, you know, it might look nice. Yeah.
The dream became a
And
nightmare.
exactly. So it's like, you know, if I had just waited and, you know, saved just, you know, a couple more months, I could have bought a lot nicer one, not having all these issues. I mean, even same thing, you know, even going along with that car again, like, you know, if I had just gone to a guy that specializes in tires the first time instead of trying to rush into, well, I just have this quick solution. You know, then I spent, you know, $2,000 on tires instead of just taking it to the guy first and, you know, spending like $600. So, I mean, and even like simple things like, you know, I kind of rushed to pick up, you know, my puppy, you know, the puppy that I got, you know, and then it ended up, you know, okay, then things, you know, that went into like finding, you know, a vet to crop his ears, you know, okay, then that, you know, then he got super, super old. And then there was, you know, kind of, you know, things that were going on there. I just wish, you know, instead of like rushing into things, just taking the time to like really think about those big decisions, instead of just doing the first quick thing that comes to mind, I guess.
To give yourself some credit, though, not many people at your stage in life, at your age, could drop cash on a car.
Yeah.
You did. You know what I'm saying?
I would legit say that
give
you're
yourself
lucky for doing it.
to give yourself
Yeah.
some credit.
For real.
Like think about some people that maybe have done that and then they take out this big loan.
Yeah.
Car shits the bed. They're stuck with this loan, and it's even a bigger nightmare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that is a good.
Yeah.
Definitely a good point for sure.
I mean, that is true, but it's like, I mean, yes, I did pay for cash for a car, which I could have waited on for a better one, but I also, you know, did have the money to fix it if it broke. So, I mean, that did end up being fine, but still, I just feel like patience with those big decisions overall.
Yeah.
I mean, patience with decisions, but I make a lot of decisions based on, like, I'll get some information.
Yeah.
Like, I can't give an example of what a decision I'd be making, but could be a business decision for me, could be a personal decision, but I collect as much information as possible in a quick manner, and then I make a decision. And my decisions are usually faster than most people's, but I can collect information pretty rapidly just by looking at a variety of things. You know what I'm saying? One example would be whenever me and Lauren got the CRV. You know, that was a pretty fast decision. You know, it's pretty much like 24 hours. We're like, all right, we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the state of the economy. I'm looking at pricing for different things going on. I'm looking at specs on vehicles because I was between two vehicles, you know what I'm saying, that I was going to purchase. So gas mileage, where is the price of gas going? So those types of things, that's just one example. But I'm trying to collect as much information as possible in a short period of time. Once I have enough information to make a good decision, I move forward versus taking a month to collect excessive amounts of information, you know, so making fast decisions isn't necessarily a bad thing in all situations, you know what I'm saying, but try to collect as much information as possible. So yeah, that's what I would say. All right, good to go?
Yep.
All right, one last question. Lexi, did you have one last question?
I mean, I have a couple more I can ask.
Did you want to ask one last one in particular before we start wrapping this up? Because I got one last question.
Nah, go with your question.
No, I mean, you can ask a question, then I'll ask.
Okay, I'll ask a question. So now I'm debating between two questions that I have.
Oh, now you put the pressure on.
Oh, you better pick up one. Pick one.
Okay. This is kind of around the table, but we'll start with Kevin. What are your
She's pointing at Ben. We'll start with Kevin.
No, I pointed like this. It was kind of like a sideways point. I guess it was kind of towards nothing. But what are your pet peeves?
Oh, shoot. Here we go.
Only one. Rapid fire.
Okay, yeah.
One pet
Only
peeve.
one.
Your worst pet peeve, Kevin. Your worst
trying to
one.
think what pisses me off more than I think it's ironic because I operate in a client-based service, but anytime that I need something where I'm the client, something always goes wrong, and it's not to the standard that I would serve the client. So that pretty much drives me insane.
To harp on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we work really hard to have fast response times to people to provide as much information and options to people as possible. So when I'm looking for a service, and people are beating around the bush or not responding,
Call me back on Tuesday.
not responding, dude, that ticks me off. So if someone's responding in the way that we do, where it's like within a reasonable amount of time, good feedback, good, then I'm like, all right, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that is definitely a bad problem in the service industry, and either people just don't care, they're so busy or whatever. I don't know why.
Literally, it's everything that I need. From ordering a computer, like when I order my computer, it's like, oh, shipping got delayed for whatever reason. I'm like, yeah, like you told me it was going to be here this day, now it's not, and it just compounds because it's literally everything that I need. It's always something goes wrong, so I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. Pet peeve for me.
Where to start?
I mean, I feel like I'm pretty flexible. Something goes wrong. I guess if not following procedure.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what Chad's
What,
pet
you
peeve
got
is:
one?
not being on time.
Not being on time.
that's a
That
big
is
one.
true.
That's
That's
actually
a
what I
big
was going
one.
to say. Punctuality is my pet peeve, big time. But not just like in a work sense, but in life. I don't even like.
Oh, we know Chris in his personal life. He's got to be.
Dude,
My
I
personal life, if I have a personal thing going on and my family's running late, I'm like, it's not a big deal.
No, I don't.
If
like
it's
it.
business, I'm like, I got to be 15 minutes early.
So here's my perspective
Chris
on it.
is
though.
like, no,
like I
he's-
take it personal. Like if we do a family dinner, right? Let's say
Here
we
we
all
go.
have a family dinner,
Here we go.
and we say, hey, we're gonna all meet at 5:00, but Chad shows up at like 6:00.
I ain't gonna be that late.
No,
I
you
might
ain't
show
gonna-
up
I know. I'm
5:15.
using an example as an example, right? You show up super late. I mean, I got some family members that might be an hour late, you know. But it's like
I mean, yeah, we all do.
I don't mean enough to you to be on time. You know what I'm saying? We made a commitment to meet at 5:00. So like that's just my perspective on punctuality. If you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, that's where it should be. Even in my if I tell my family, hey, we're leaving to go to the water park, as you know, it sounds crazy, right? But we're leaving at 9:00. Like we're leaving at 9:00. I'm in the car ready to rock and roll at 9:00. That's just something. It's a pet peeve.
See,
of
that
mine.
makes it to me. That makes it business.
Yeah.
That makes it not enjoyable for being so.
Well, think
strict
about
on your
that.
time.
But
see, it makes
You're
it-
supposed to hang out, have a good time.
Yeah.
But it makes it
casual.
less enjoyable for me when we're not on track
Yeah.
and on.
I mean, if
target.
it's
like now I've
over-
missed this much time
Yeah.
with my family or whatever.
Over,
You know what
10, 15 minutes, sure.
I feel like sometimes,
But
because in the personal life thing, I try to be pretty relaxed with the time thing. Because I feel like if I'm like, let's go, we're supposed to, you know,
You're an asshole.
Well,
You're-
not that, but you could build anxiety in like my kids, for example. And
Cranking everyone
if I'm building a habit or behavior set of anxiety in my kids now, guess what they're going to be struggling with later? Anxiety.
Yeah.
So I try to be more relaxed, or I try to set, at least when it's me and my kids, I try to set them up like I'm the one in charge of them in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. So I get up. When we all get up, me and the kids, I'm like, here's the plan for the day. At this time, we're doing this. At this time, this is happening. After that, we're doing this. And then we have a thing up there on the fireplace. It's called a time timer.
Yeah.
And you can flip it, and that shows the kids, because if you flip it to the time, it shows them red, right? It shows the color red for the time that they have remaining. So that tells them, like, all right, in 30 minutes, we're going to go outside and let the chickens out. So we flip the time timer, then they can have a visual. All right, 30 minutes, and that's when we're leaving, right? Or we're going to do the next thing. So that's what I do. And of
I think,
course,
I mean, there
it's
should
like
be balance between causing anxiety and teaching boundaries. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
I think, if you're like, what the? You're yelling at your family because we're late. Hey, extreme ownership. What can we do to make the process? This is something that I've dealt with.
Right.
You know, where I used to be like that. Well, Kelly, what? You better. So now it's starting to look, okay, extreme ownership.
We're
well,
name dropping.
well, the reason
Yeah,
maybe I'm
shit,
yelling,
all right.
right, is because I'm ready to go, but maybe Kelly's got all these other things to do. Maybe
Yeah.
I can help out with those things to make sure we're all on time. But I don't know. We went on a tangent here, but just punctuality in general is just
That's
a-
Chris's
It was
It's
more
a
about
personal
you,
pet.
Chris,
Yeah.
going on a tangent.
Hey,
Chris had to
whatever.
vent a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Jesus, Chris. All right.
Going back to what Kevin said, those services, that is something that when they say, yeah, we'll be there at 11. Oh, don't even bring it up,
punctuality,
Chris.
dude.
Chris is
Yeah,
getting
they're
fired
like,
up.
we'll be there at 11 to service your washing machine or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't show up till 1. I'm like, you guys are done, dude.
Yeah.
What What the hell?
Dude.
No, I'm the same way.
That shit
my
pisses me off.
time now to me is extremely valuable. I didn't realize that until like I started working here.
Yep.
So even when I've had clients be like, "Oh yeah, man, I'll come by at like 9 a.m. to drop them off," and it's like 10:30. I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
oh, let me do it tomorrow." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, because you're not gonna tell them no.
Yeah.
But
Right.
at the same time, it's like, really, that's the respect line
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
you know?
For sure.
But also, some people just don't even have any sense of time.
Right.
So you got to take that into
Yeah.
account. All right, Lexi, pet peeve.
We're flexible, boys.
Trying to debate.
Is it time related?
No. I guess not really. I'm trying to debate between
I know.
two.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Wait.
I was gonna say you've told me some of your. I was gonna say if you didn't
What?
have one, I was gonna bring one up.
What were you gonna
Using
say?
the wrong chats.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that bothers the crap out of me.
No, it's only 8 of them.
So we have like with the 5 team chats that we have, there's like, the potty chat, the picture chat, and then the team chat. Oh my gosh, it bothers the heck out of me when they put something potty related in the picture chat. I'm like, that is wrong. Like, just take attention to detail and pick the right chat.
Well, what's your other pet peeves you're gonna talk
No,
about?
but so I was gonna say, and this doesn't have anything to do with clients because I don't think clients ask, like, I wouldn't consider any of their questions dumb, but I like people asking dumb questions that but like something that they already know. So like, say for example, like let's just say I told
like playing the game.
You know what,
Asking the
Kinda.
questions they
This
know
is
playing the game.
a byproduct of you working with Chad.
no, like, okay, so like,
Chad does not like dumb questions either.
I don't have any problem with questions.
No,
well,
but if you've already relayed the information
exactly,
to
and
him,
that's exactly what
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, so say like I've told a friend, like, hey, I have this appointment at 5 p.m. I'm going to see this person at 5 p.m. And then like an hour later, they're like, so what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I told you an hour ago. Like, are you kidding me? And I know you don't have to know everything about my schedule. You don't have to. You could just be like, hey, I remember you said you're going somewhere at 5 p.m. Where is it? Okay, that's not that dumb. But like asking me what am I doing today whenever I've already told you what I'm doing today, I'm like, oh my
you're getting
gosh.
heated right now. Calm it down, boys. Calm
No,
it
like
down.
that is frustrating. So it's not like a dumb necessarily like just like a dumb question, but it's more like information they've like this person has already been told, and then they're asking about it again. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that bothers me.
yeah, definitely relate.
And then the only other thing that I could really think of that I was trying
How
to
many
debate
you got
between.
going on?
Well, that's why I
already
was
fired up,
thinking.
boys. She's
No,
got
so
a
that's
vent.
why I was thinking I have 2. Then Chad brought up another one, but like the other one that I was just thinking of is when my personal dogs whine. That drives me
Actually, that
crazy.
drives me
When my
like milk
personal dogs,
Whatever.
whenever they're whining, I lose my mind.
Especially the pitties, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm like treadmill. You are going on for 2 hours. Like I
Ain't
just
gonna
got a
matter.
treadmill. I'm like, yeah, they'll whine on the treadmill. But I'm like, currently it's working.
I don't even hear
So
the whining.
Ben, pet peeves.
It's gonna sound weird, but walking through spider webs is like
okay.
if I get spider webs on my face, dude, I literally
Spiders
get
got to eat too, bro.
That
Dude,
literally
I want-
happens once
Maybe
a
you
day
should
for me.
maybe you should pay
it
attention
happens
to where
me
you're
all
going.
the time. I get so mad.
Maybe
you
you
can't see them. They're invisible. Like I walked out my back door to take my dog out at like 11 p.m. I walked right through a spider web.
At your house, you got nothing for them to put a web up at.
They did. It was a. I studied it too, and he like made it from the light above my porch, and like all the way over to the bushes.
It's like it's intentional.
Dang, that's a big web.
It was. I watched them too, and then
Dang.
I took a broom and knocked it all down.
I will
was
tell
so
you
mad.
that spiders making webs are crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because sometimes there's like one thing way over here, one
Yeah.
thing, and they must go on the ground,
Yeah.
crawl over, crawl up to attach the web, dude.
In my head, I think they come
It's
down and
crazy.
they start to swing.
Well, I think they
Oh,
do.
do they
I
swing?
think they
I don't know.
can. Not
That's
all of
I
them,
mean,
but I think
sometimes
they
these things are too
can.
far apart. These
Just,
2 points.
I think
It's
just
crazy.
bugs in general being close to me just pisses me off.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man shoots the web
Especially
out.
bumblebees.
Need some
and
guinea
They
pigs.
do
flying
shoot other,
insects.
but I gotta send you all a video of where they gave different spiders different drugs
seen that.
and then let them create webs.
What?
Some of them were like crazy.
Really?
They gave a
LSD?
spider like a little bit of LSD. It was like,
I do want to see
I
that.
saw
Pretty
the
good video.
All right, last question to wrap this thing up. All right. What are your current, could be short term or long term, what's one of your primary short term or long term goals that you're working to achieve, personally or professionally? Start off with Ben.
One of them is to build my home gym up, but I have to slowly acquire equipment because at the same time I'm also trying to get out of personal debt. like hardcore, super fast,
It's a good
super
goal,
dedicated.
That's
Had a
that's
little bump on the
priority.
road recently, so that pissed me off because it threw me off my goal track. But
Adapt and adjust.
just readjust. Good to go.
Yeah.
No factor.
Yeah,
Those are some goals.
good to go. Lexi?
I mean, I guess short-term goal would be getting a new car. That's something that I want. Whether it's, keeping
Ram.
this one and buying a new one, or just, selling and buying. I'm just figuring out things with the car. But then I guess my longer type term goal is buying a house. So, but I don't want it too far in the future. Like I'm talking like next year or two, but
It's a good goal.
that's my goal.
Nice. Chris?
I mean, I was in I had a goal to get jacked. I had to put it on pause because I kind of hurt my shoulder. I was doing some rehab stuff, so I'm kind of my goal is to get back to where I was.
You on the Molk?
I'm on some Molk. I'm on the Molk, but I still can't lift the weight that I was doing. So I still gotta baby step it to build up to it. So physically, that's the goal that I'm working towards. And then I'd say another goal that's been on my mind lately is just overall becoming a better father. Like looking at different parenting things that I can do to set my son up for success. Soon to be sons.
I changed my previous answer from fighting. I choose Chris.
What?
I just found out you have a shoulder weakness.
That ain't a weakness. I still got.
So your goal is to be jacked or to get stronger?
I mean, I guess to get stronger.
Just bulk up.
That's what I thought jacked was.
Highly recommend the 40-day program.
What's the 40?
Easy Strength. I just started it 2 weeks ago.
Juju
Not Juju Mufu. Yeah, basically you pick 5 exercises. You do those 5 exercises every day. 2 sets of 5 of each exercise. You do a warm up. Those 5 exercises every day. Do whatever weight is comfortable with you. At about 20 days, you're supposed to start to see your strength really start to skyrocket on these exercises. Then you do that for 40 total workout days. Then you could change exercises or you could go to something else. But good way to build up your strength foundation.
Yeah.
So I'm doing deadlift, overhead press, pull-ups.
Nice.
Okay, pull-ups with a weight chain where you're
Oh, yeah.
pulling up weight. And then Russian kettlebell swings because you got to do a hip hinge in there. Then ab wheels. Intense. It's good.
Nice.
All right,
I'll
Kevin?
check it out.
Short-term, long-term goals?
I feel like if I say goals out loud, I never reach them because it happens like every time I fall off. I'm working on a couple things right now, but I think financially is definitely a big one. I don't think you can ever be too financially prepared. So just keep working towards that.
Financially prepared or for what are you preparing? Like you talking about setting up?
Well, like future-wise, because a very cynical person, I don't have a lot of hope for the world. So it's like I've been pretty much just like living in the moment for a while. And now it's like, well, maybe I should, just in case, because who knows, right?
Now's a good time. Recession.
Yeah, exactly.
Good time to get your money right.
So financially is good, but I got other ones that I'm currently pursuing, just working through them.
Good to go. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to today's episode, Pack Talk Podcast, formerly Canine Revolution Radio, but now Pack Talk Podcast. You guys can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Obviously, if you're listening, you already know. One thing we do ask you guys, please leave us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform because that really helps us out, really helps us reach more people and beat the algorithm. We got a lot of new episodes planned out coming up that I think you guys will find exciting, some dog-related, some not. All right, so with that being said, if you want to support the podcast, you can go to Amazon, type in Canine Revolution Apparel. It'll also be linked in our show notes, but you can get some of our T-shirts. We have a Good to Go T-shirt because we're all good to go. Get you a Canine Revolution Apparel T-shirt, get you some Iron Revolution T-shirts, getting a Pack Talk Podcast T-shirt because we got to get that going, right? Also, if you need dog training, hit us up, guys, Canine Revolution Dog Training. And again, appreciate your listening, appreciate your support, and until next time, out.